There we go. Hello, everyone. It's taking a minute, so give us a sec. I need to make sure everybody's cameras are visible. Actually, I have Manny's right here, so I'll just grab Manny. There's Manny. Well, you're not here yet, unfortunately. All the links are taking a little while, but I'm also doing this off Wi-Fi, so it may take us a minute. Here's Wall. There be the Nico. Can't hear you guys, so I'm gonna fix that problem. Haven't fixed it yet. There we go. Now they can hear you. At least they should be able to. Why can't they hear you? Why is this not? Militech? Right now? No? What is going on here? Some odd reason it's not working on mine. That is very odd. Everything else is working fine. Try now. Nope. Uh-huh. Normally I could just leave it on Discord and it's fine. Why is it being a hoe? Right now? Active. Right now. So. How about now? What is... Okay. I don't understand why it's doing this. What are you doing, thing? You know what? Let me just argue with it real quick. Right now? Why is it not picking you guys up? What is going on here? I don't actually know how to do that. Uh-huh.
You output capture, label it something like headset or something like that.
Right. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting some sound. Try talking.
Hello.
Check.
That works.
Check. 1, 2, 3.
They're probably double hearing the music now, but it's fine. I've also realized my camera is, again, in the wrong place. This happens every time. Okay, so we're good there, we're good there. I can just pull everything up there when I need to. That's beautiful. Why is my... Oh, That's right, because last time we left our intrepid heroes, they were stuck in a fucking pit.
Yes, we were.
So, with you lovely intrepid heroes in your lovely pit.
All right.
Also, you haven't shared your stream for music.
Oh, fair, thank you. I got so distracted by everything else, I forgot about that.
All right, and I'm knocking for stream collab.
Oh, yes. Accept. No. That does not
Time
need
to
to be up
go.
on the same thing.
Mute audio, mute mic.
I need to do the same. Okay. And you've turned on chat sharing, correct?
I'm working on that right now.
Okay. Probably a minute or two late. It's fine.
There we go. Chat sharing is enabled.
Beautiful, thank you. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back. Yes, I can see it in my chat.
Okay, perfect. Well, I
And
typed it in your chat to see if it showed up over
Yeah,
here. So.
but I see it as sent from my
Perfect.
channel, so perfect. Wonderful. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tales from the Mist, or What We Do in Barovia, or Concerning the Piss Post. I don't know what we're calling this anymore. I'm still fucking lost, and it's been like a month since we last did this. It's not actually true, I'm just being overdramatic. But, when last we left our intrepid heroes, they made it to the town of Barovia. So good on you. Well done. Applause
Yay.
all around for all of you. Well done, well done. They found the burgomaster's adopted children. They're not actually his children, they're his adopted children, which is why they look nothing alike. They learned the terrible secret that Strahd has made appearances in the village of Barovia with intent to get his hands on the young woman who is the adopted daughter of the burgomaster, who died like 2 weeks ago, by the way. Just as a friendly reminder, he died like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
They could not get him to the church to be buried properly because for some reason, the prior within the church was not, in fact, holding burials or doing pretty much of anything. Upon your arrival, you found the man sitting there just praying over and over and over and over again. In the concern that this man may not have been fully within his faculties, shall we say. You beloved intrepid heroes went to go figure out why, went down into the basement, and found yourselves a vampire spawn. How'd that go for you?
Well, the
Yeah,
vampire
that's
spawn is no longer a thing, so.
You did.
True.
Well, deader.
As a matter of fact, I believe we left it off there, but something else exciting did happen, didn't it, Rick?
Yeah, dude upstairs started screaming or something.
No,
The
no,
sword
no.
turned on.
There you go.
Yeah, the sword
That's
turned on, yes.
that's the exciting thing, is the sword turned on.
Because there was an evil undead.
Correct. Now you have an understanding with the
People are
sword.
actually good at that.
Listen, those exist. And they are here.
I mean,
Well, not here, but here enough. You know?
they're not too far away. Just
So, if I remember correctly, your next mission was going to be to take the young woman the fuck out of here, if I am
well,
not
we still have to
mistaken.
bury the other guy.
Well, yes, you have to bury him too.
Also, before we get too far into it, starting the night, we are at 22 nat 20s, 18 nat 1s, 13 concernings, and Frank has pissed on something 13 times.
That's mostly because you haven't long rested since you got here. And I think
I
even
know,
Frank
but
is smart
I'm
enough to
giving
realize pissing in Barovia is probably not a wise plan.
I'm just giving the updates.
That's fair, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to mix myself a drink. Feel free, gentlemen. You are still in the basement, in the undercroft of this church.
Well,
What
that
do you
was
do?
not pleasant. Does anyone get injured by the thing?
think I'm all right.
I think I took most of the damage. I'm good.
No, I will admit to being ignorant. That vampire spawns cannot make other vampire spawns. Is that correct? Does anyone know? Are we going to need to start casting things to
No,
try and
I
prevent the
think-
thing?
No, but we think there is a vampire lord out there that's making this one.
I mean, you could always throw me a. We'll go with nature or survival, whichever is higher.
I'm just going to gesture vaguely in the direction of Castle Ravenloft.
Which is right behind the priory, by the way. We went over
Yes.
this. It is atop the hill that the priory butts up to. Well, damn! We got Nav with a dirty 20. We got Skane with some kind of 20.
You said nature
Dirty 20.
or
6.
Nature or survival.
Yeah, I got 19
Yes,
plus 7.
Yeah, it's two dirty 20s.
8.
Okay, survival is
18.
way better.
Okay, Nika, make your chat. Oh,
17.
wait for everybody. Well, all right. All you needed was a 15. Well, I say all you needed, like it's not a really difficult test to hit. All you needed was a 15, so every one of you gets it. No. Vampire spawn, traditionally speaking, for what little interaction you've had with vampire spawn in Faerun, a very particular white-haired one in Baldur's Gate 3 notwithstanding, they cannot, in fact, traditionally embrace new children. That all comes
Okay.
directly from the vampire lord, or, heaven forbid, you have one bite you and you manage to survive it and you become a Danfear. That gets a little
That's more what-
trickier.
That's more what I was getting at. You may want to cast the restoration if that, so that we don't have that problem.
Oh, no, it's a true vampire does that. Spawn
Oh,
does
okay.
not.
So
Yeah, it's true vampire.
so-
It's just it doesn't kill you to make you a spawn.
at the most, it's you're looking at just possibly a nasty infection. So my point still stands. You may want to
That is
just
fair.
prevent infections.
Yeah,
Yes,
we may
of
need to
course.
give you a rabies shot.
Wait,
Do those exist in
if I
Faerun?
remember, did I actually get bitten?
Yes.
I have no idea if they exist in Faerun, but it's a very apt comparison.
He was, in fact, eating you. And I said that for a reason.
Yes.
You actually have lesser restoration, Rick?
I think I do, yeah. Do I feel any funny effects or just pain?
I mean, there's the obvious, I'm bleeding out of my neck. But beyond that,
That's what I'm
like,
saying,
eh? There's no effects to speak of. As of the moment.
That's a good moment.
As of the moment.
That's a good moment.
I am a benevolent god. I like to leave my options open.
I'm going
I
to
should
make an
also probably
argument on
push.
that, not necessarily being benevolent, but I don't feel like angering you right now as the god of the game.
I am in fact the lever of the universe that controls whether or not you live or die.
So you are Crow T Robot. Got it.
Correct. So, we remain in the Undercroft. Would you like to cast a lesser restoration on yourselves? You will also have time to
cannot.
rest at some point. Oh, are you out of
I
slots?
do not have the spell slots right. I've got one level 3 spell slot left, and I can't upcast Lesser Restoration.
Yeah, no, you can't. That's fine. You can always wait.
Mhm.
Unless somebody else has that ability, although I think some of you might actually have similar abilities.
I do, but I don't have it prepared. And it's not a ritual.
Not in any way that's useful to anyone.
You know what, Nav? I'll let you have it.
Can I cast Vampiric Touch on myself to out vampire the vampire?
Hold on. As the lever of your universe, I actually have to think about this for a minute. Because vampiric touch is not actually to, like, make something into a vampire. It's literally
No,
just
yeah, no,
leeching
no.
health. So how would
Siphoning
that
the
work?
life force, yeah.
You're siphoning the life force, causing necrotic damage, and healing yourself for a number of hit points. How do you do that if you're doing that to yourself?
Autoerotic self vampirism.
You know what? No, this is officially
Why
a
do I
D&D
not have
game.
a quote machine set up?
I don't know, but that also needs to be put down on the tabletop because I'm adding that to my quotes later. Autoerotic self-vampirism. Things I never expected to talk about on my fucking channel. Ever.
You can't suck
Could have known
yourself,
better.
you're going to suck anybody else.
Can I get an amen up in here? Question mark? I'm not sure that's worthy of an amen, to be honest.
It is not. That's unholy.
Oh, I also wanted... yeah, okay, I didn't actually double check whether or not that went through properly. Orion, are you okay, buddy? The dog's been acting weird since Mom and Dad went out of town, which is why I'm up here tonight, instead of in the basement.
Okay, I have put that in there along with the follow-up quote that kind of went along with it.
Acceptable, I appreciate you, thank you. You are...
You're welcome.
You are being graced by a benevolent god this night. Thank you. But no, Nav, if you want to have it, I mean, it's fucking lesser restoration. It's not common that you run into this sort of thing, but also you haven't run into anything else out there that goes bump in the night. I will let you have it, because honestly, I'm not even worried about lesser resto.
I'll hit him with the restoration.
Congratulations, you have been smack. Any diseases you had are good.
Yay.
I will cast a master
His
healing
finger
word
just like
for...
turns into a syringe, and he just jams it into you.
That
There,
works.
You're good.
And then you may all heal 11 if any of you took damage.
No, okay, wait, no, I have a ton of spell slots. I'm sorry. I forgot that they fill up when you use them, not empty when you use them.
Oh, yeah, no, honey.
Yeah, no, I've got shit tons. Yeah, no, I've got shit tons. Sorry. Still getting used to D&D Beyond.
Yeah, to be fair, you also weren't really using a lot of spells. You used one to detect undead, and it was called Pull Sword Out of Sheath. Well, it was also called Pull Sword Out of Sheath. Yeah, the answer got really obvious. So, while you are down here, you do hear the prior upstairs. It sounds like weeping. The poor man seems to be weeping himself hoarse.
All right, we should probably go fix him.
I'm not sure how much he's going to want to talk to us right now. This may have been his child.
Oh, almost certainly.
Is there a distinct pile of ashes? Can we tell what is ash and what is dirt from the crumbling that just happened?
Well, so how many of you watch horror movies on a regular basis?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know how sometimes when you stake a vampire and you kill it, it turns to a pile of ash and just blows away in the wind, right?
Yeah.
What happens to particularly young vampires?
They don't. They're just a corpse.
Yeah. What happens to a vampire's spawn? Congratulations. Yes. There are in fact bits of dust around, certainly. The rest of it is starting to gooify.
Oh.
As though it had been interred within the earth for maybe 20 years, give or take.
But I know of any way to scoop the goop into something to, make it much more dignified.
Do you have gentle repose? I was actually going to say, do you have gentle repose?
That's what I'm saying. I do.
You can cast gentle repose on the corpse. Gentle repose. The goo ungoos. It stops gooing. It now just becomes a corpse.
Is it bad? My first thought was I can fit that into a water skin.
That's what I was like.
I was looking for a shovel in my inventory.
Like, do we have anything,
Okay, hold on. How do you not have a shovel, Nico?
I don't know. I might have one in, the basic equipment I have for some reason. Also, I'm a dwarf.
I'm pretty sure that's just, at this point, origin equipment for you.
Always prepared to diggy hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually,
you diggy hole, diggy tunnel.
I have something to scoop it up, but I will not sully it with it because I still have my flagon from all this times.
That's what I said.
To be fair, you also have a few extra bottles of wine, if I remember correctly. That was your...
Also, just to remind everyone, I still have
negotiation.
Yeah.
Yes. Princess Cluck Mila the Sixth.
That chicken is royalty.
I'm sorry, it wasn't Princess Cluckmilla, it was Queen Cluckmilla the Sixth. She is very distraught, by the way. None of you have, speak with animals up, but she's clearly just...
Quiet, you.
If a bird could look at you with a look that said, fuck you, that is what the bird is doing.
By the way, she's just peeking over the edge of my backpack because she's been in my
Yes.
backpack this whole time.
Yes, and clucking quite loudly. And maybe a little rustling, kind of flapping going on. Not that she could fly, because she's a chicken, but not going to stop her from trying, the jolly old girl.
And it's perhaps best we get this dealt with sooner rather than later.
Yes, probably.
Again, is there anything like I can cover the corpse up with to, bring it up to the guy?
Do you happen to have fabric in your pack? A bedroll, perhaps?
I have a bedroll.
Yeah,
I've got a bed.
I do too.
You could put him in a bedroll and carry him up.
Oh yeah, no, I've got a blanket. I was just thinking more, around in this basement.
No. The undercroft is otherwise barren. Also, I need to quickly close the door so you guys can discuss how you're going to carry the body upstairs.
You got a blanket, so I'm gonna wrap him in the blanket.
But I'm probably not strong enough to help you carry him well.
Oh, well, let me take care of that.
No, Orion, I'm just closing the door,
Double
buddy.
bindle him.
Yeah.
But we have now turned him into corpse burrito. Well done.
I mean, that's usually how you're supposed to do it.
I shall fetch a rug.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Woodhouse.
So the rug has been fetched. The corpse has been rolled into it with dignity. Because, Eric of the Grave over here.
Well,
So what are we
do
doing?
a favor for the guy upstairs. We get a favor back, right?
Maybe. I seem to recall you are still looking for something fairly specific.
It's a good point. Knowledge.
Is it knowledge you're
Something
looking for? Are you sure about that?
No, a man whose faith. No, a man of faith whose sanity hangs on by a thread. He's lost someone close to him.
That's him upstairs.
Yep.
Chat can see all the behind the scenes stuff, and that's fine.
Quick, let's metagame.
You get nothing and like it. So you
mean, I
roll
have
up your
you up,
corpse
but
burrito,
I'm
you
not
take it
paying
upstairs. It's fine. You roll your corpse
not
burrito,
looking
you
either.
take him upstairs, and what are we doing? Also, remember, you do have another corpse you need to bury. He's around here somewhere.
He's
I
inside.
checked.
You're accumulating
on,
corpses quite quickly.
Okay, what's the name of the guy again? I keep forgetting, sorry.
Donovich.
Brother.
Friar Donovich.
Donovich, and the girl, his name is
Irena.
Irena.
Right now, again.
I've got to go check on
Oh.
Donovich and Irena.
No, okay, no, I'm sorry. You're thinking, the fuck was his name? God damn it, now I'm doing it. Ismark, thank you. Ismark. And Irena. So you go check on Irena and Ismark. They're still inside the chapel. They're just kind of waiting around and now kind of looking at you like, what the fuck was all of that? And why do you have
I'll
a
let
corpse?
somebody more diplomatic than me talk.
You have another corpse to bury.
Keep calm. Apparently,
I
don't
take
let
back
the
what I said.
don't let the automaton talk. Maybe. I was gonna say, keep calm and don't let the dwarf talk. And then Nav spoke.
Do we notice the prior react to the body we are carrying?
He seems to simply be weeping upon the altar to the Morning Lord, who again is not Lathander.
then I will put a hand on his shoulder and tell him that I'm sorry for his loss.
What is my AC to hit you?
I want to say 17 or 18.
You should probably check that.
It's 17.
Any D's? My shit is
Well,
running
he's checking
slow because this is all Wi-Fi. Fucking hell. Ah, yes,
Please
thank
do
you.
that, Mr. Hip there. You're welcome.
We are, in fact, raising money for Starlight Children's Foundation. They're an organization that donates mobile gaming rigs to hospital wards for children across the country. If you happen to have $1 or $2 to donate in the name of helping kids remain kids just a little bit longer when they're facing down things like cancers and leukemias, as well as helping them out with comfortable hospital wear while they are there for a short-term stay, a long-term stay, or there for observation and treatment, feel free to do !donate down in my channel or !charity over in TC's. All the money goes directly there. I see none of it, but you can jump scare the fuck out of me using jump scare alerts, which will then, in turn, jump scare the fuck out of my players because none of them are actually watching what's going on the channel right now. It's a 15. Is that enough?
17.
Yep, okay.
Right.
He goes to grab a hold of you and falls flat on his face, weeping still.
Okay. I was going to say I'd let him grab me.
Oh, fair enough. If you let him, like, if you move to catch him to kind of like cover up the fact that he pretty clearly missed. Are you giving him that dignity?
I am giving him that dignity.
He just holds on to you and cries. Anyone want to throw an insight?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yes. Yes, check the inside of the old man weeping.
5.
15.
Natural 1.
Ooh.
Wow.
I got 16.
First one of the session.
I do not understand human emotion.
Okay, Data, calm down. We have a 15 and a 16. The two of you, this isn't bereaved crying. This is relieved crying.
Should
Yeah,
we put
the
him
other
out
two,
of
he's
his
just crying.
misery?
Now, if you've been hanging out with Frank too much,
No,
I'm just
even
gonna-
at that, Frank is gonna look up at Nav and go like, "The fuck, dude."
He's just going to like look at
I
Nav and do like
missed the comment.
shake head and shush.
Now said, should we put him out of his misery?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, please no.
I rolled a nat 1, guys.
I know,
I
but
mean,
still.
that's fair. I didn't have to tell you that the heart of your heart and the core of your core says this man must be put out of his misery. You kind of did that one on your own.
Typical Skynet.
This is what happens. You let them have a little bit of sentience. This is what happens. Anyway, so you
That's
have...
what Humanist, Mara. That is so humanist.
I will not bow before my AI overlords, thank you. I've seen how this story ends. It's not pretty.
I welcome our robots.
You are more than welcome to welcome them all, you damn well pleased. What? Oh, the music's still not going for you guys, is it? Now it is. I apologize. I'm a dipshit. Anyway. So yes, old man weeping onto your cleric's robes. The weeping. And he's just crying.
He's going to hold him and pat his back.
I'm so sorry. I know it's
Let it
hard.
out, little fella.
Wait, do you actually call him little fella?
No, I don't.
Okay. Thank you.
Nav raises his hand ready to attack.
He cries for a good 15, 20 minutes. Just non-fucking stop. And eventually that crying turns to exhausted, relieved laughter. And both Irina and Ismark are kind of looking at each other like, what the fuck just happened?
I go next to them and says like, yeah, vampire, hatchling, chick, downstairs.
Not
Care
chick.
of it.
Not chick. Not chick. Dude. Was dude.
I was talking about the animal as a baby
Oh.
chicken.
You get a peck to the back of your head.
Sorry, queen. Sorry.
She puts her head back down.
And of course, Bismarck and Irina just saw that.
Yes. Absolutely. But they've also had the unspoken conversation with both Skane and Panna where it's like, yeah, he just kind of does this. It's fine.
I'm Benjo Kazooie now.
Oh God.
Congratulations. At this point,
Excuse me.
night is falling over the town of Barovia. And you begin to see beyond the windows of this very well lit little church mist starting to coalesce along the windows. The temperature starts to drop. And without skipping a beat, the old man, currently in Skane's arms, jumps up and books it for the front door.
I'm not going to get in his way if he's going to go lock it.
Yeah, if he's gonna lock it, cool.
Oh, he's not just locking it. For a man as old as this man clearly is, and he is obviously up there in years, he picks up this giant wooden beam and slams it into the door. On his way back, he grabs Irina and Ismark and starts handing them holy water and saying, "Go, guard the windows."
I mean, I'll take it. Okay, so we've been told to guard the windows.
Well, he gives them to Irina and Ismark. As he comes back to all of you, he starts just picking up boards from the floor and from the broken bits of pew and handing them out with nails.
Well, time to get to work.
I have the most appropriate object in the world to be handed for this particular scene.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, so does any one of you have a hammer?
Did I have a mace?
You do have a mace.
I mean, I can use the flat side of my axe, like nail it in, but
Oh wait, no, I had a
Use my
long sword.
hand.
As you are starting to board up the windows, I will say that you can find, even if it's just one of the handles, right? You use the spine of that thing with enough force. Arguably, you could use it as a hammer. Can I get perception checks from everyone who is currently working on a window?
not one.
19.
Wow.
20.
Well,
Well, yours is a dirty 20. It's not a nat 20.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Nav, Panna, Skane. As you're starting to board up these windows, you can see this fog, right? This fog is very, very, very familiar after your first introduction to our dear Baron von Zarovich. I'm sorry, Count von Zarovich. It changes depending on the edition. But as you are watching, you realize it's darker than you think it should be for the start of the evening. As though you'd been downstairs for quite some time. An eerie green light starts suffusing from the graveyard behind this very church. And from this light emerges a ghostly procession. Wavering images of doughy women holding great swords, wood-wise men with slender bows, dwarves with glittering axes, and archaically dressed mages with beards and strange pointed hats. All these and more march forth from the graveyard, their numbers growing by the second.
Do they head towards one of the windows or something?
No. They're not headed toward the windows at all. As a matter of fact, they start wandering down the main street through town, Old Svalak Road. Since those of you, I mean, and that's pretty obvious, right? Even for the Nat 1, that's what you see. For those of you who scored higher than a 10, which is everybody else who's not Frank. Sorry, Frank. I can't help your dice.
Yep.
You start recognizing a few other forms here and there. A particularly svelte-looking rogue. You'd assume probably an elf. But as you're looking, the ears coming up out of the hood are in the wrong place. They're more toward the top of the head, not the sides. And he has a tail. Some of you start to notice figures of legend and lore, adventurers who went out to do a thing and just never came back. For those of you who scored higher than a 15, these aren't people who died here, who were part of Barovia. These are adventurers who have come here before you. All taking a walk down Old Svalak Road out of town. The road, by the way, you came here on.
So they're heading out. They're just passing by the church.
Yes, they're going from the graveyard in the church out of town.
They're not like doing anything else on the way. Like they're not like killing people, putting things to the torch.
No, they're not. They're not harming anyone at all.
Public indecency. Well,
Did you just say public indecency?
Yes.
No one's just wearing a trench coat.
No, nobody. There is no ghost flashing going on.
nobody's dealing drugs either.
Not that you could
You guys are
tell.
playing
There's
way
no
too much
skooma.
Schedule 1.
I was thinking more like they've been playing too much Oblivion. There's no skooma den in this town.
Alright. So, just so it is here, you'll periodically see Pana, like, get this look on his face of, like, recognition and then follow something and then, like, repeat the process.
After you've boarded up the windows, and holy water has been sprinkled across each of the eaves, the entrances, any way anything could get into this place. The priest is kneeling again by the altar, but it's less kneeling in supplication and prayer and more he was right there with you, and that's a lot of action for an old man. And he's just breathing heavily.
There's no other entrances in the basement, correct?
No, my child. There are none.
Very well. I'm going to take a position kind of leaning
Wait.
against...
Hold on. Fucking goddammit. Chat can't hear me.
Oh no.
Oh, wait. Yes, they can. What?
What?
Oh my god, my OBS is
hear
being
you.
fucking weird. I apologize. OBS is being weird tonight. I don't
What?
approve of what's going on here.
nomine Patris et Filii et
I think
Spiritus
OBS needs to
Sancti.
start him talking to.
No, OBS is just acting like it's taking all of my fucking CPU.
I hate when it does that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
favorite.
I'm gonna stand next, close to Irina.
Okay. To Irina and Ismark.
Well, more Irina because he paid me to protect Irina. So, like, I'm
Yes.
next to her, act out.
And a few bottles of wine. I'm going to keep reminding you of that.
Yes, also that. But right now, I'm on the job. I can drink a little bit later.
That's surprisingly responsible for Frank.
Hey,
Very
Frank is a
surprisingly
professional
responsible.
mercenary. He got paid. He's doing the job.
Hold on. Where is it on my OBS? Nobody gave a donation, but I'm gonna be really fucking nice right now. Frank has showed some character growth over the last 2 games. And I feel like being a very benevolent god today. You guys get 2 player dice from that.
Woo!
I'll reward good RP.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Frank's learning.
He is. He's learning and growing, and I can appreciate that. As a
Yes,
semi-benevolent
because I would like
level
to
of the
point
universe.
out that he thought about it, but he didn't in the end because that would have been disrespectful for a place of worship.
Yes.
Because he would have pissed on the door. He thought about it.
So,
At least you didn't. Thank you.
while this is occurring, you can hear the sounds of the town coming under attack. The clarion call of 1,000 crows and ravens flocking overhead. You can see them through the shattered remains of some of this roof that clearly has been assaulted before.
There's a hole in the roof.
Oh, there's several. I said that
Should
last
we
week
be
when you came
worried
in.
about those?
Hannah just pulls out the bow and just
Is
knocks an
watching.
arrow.
Fair enough.
Are one of the rooms on the side like the roof damage on the rooms on the side? Because if not, I'm gonna pull Irina to one of the rooms in the.
The roof is damaged throughout the place, Nico. It's pockmarked. There's no solid area where there isn't something wrong with it.
There is a
And
place.
the damage
where
looks-
something through the roof cannot reach her.
True, you
Basement.
could put her in the Undercroft if you really wanted to. I will never stop you from being creative.
Okay, Frank is gonna signal to Irina like, follow me. We're putting you somewhere safe. And I'm gonna guide Irina to the Undercroft.
She just takes the broadsword off her back.
The bottom is more defensible than up here. There's holes up there. Not a good defensive place.
She turns the sword point down and just leans on it.
Frank just shrugs his. You're the one paying. Well, your brother's the one paying, but
Nothing happens in the church. But you can hear the sounds of werewolves. Because they do sound different than wolves. Wolves just sound bestial. The howls and growls outside the doors and windows that you just boarded up sound a
Okay.
little more intelligent than that.
in that case, I'm gonna go to the priest.
To Prior Donovich,
And I'm
yes.
gonna ask him, would it be really disrespectful if I mark my territory to keep those werewolves away?
Frank, please don't.
Yeah,
I
I'd
do
say-
not need that on top of this.
I'd say as he says that, just Donovich's head tilts like, what are you talking about?
Well, wolves, you need to mark your territory, with a little bit of urine. Keeps them away.
Please do not defile the Church of the
Okay.
Morning Lord. Thank you. This goes on for hours. The howls and yowls and yips, the beating of wings, the caws. Even Queen Cluckmilla VI is silent. You can hear out beyond the walls just the sound of scratching, not with claws, but with nails. With human or humanoid hands trying to burrow the way into the walls. And as the night wears on, more and more, thank you, concerning drink. Hydrate, chat.
Been waiting to drop it.
And as the night wears on, more and more seem to come from the direction of the Burgermaster's house. As if they were looking for someone there, only to find they're not there anymore. And you can see during all of this, Prior Donovich is distraught, but aware. Not quite to the level of vigilance you would assume, someone who's used to this sort of shit has, but certainly more in tune than he was when you arrived.
That's gotta be back real quick.
How dare you? But also, that's fine.
Frank is going to try to stand in front of Irina to make it look like if somebody's watching through the window, she's less visible. And yes, I am aware that, I'm a dwarf and it doesn't work, but Frank is still going to do it.
I just wanted to make sure you're aware of the fact that you're a dwarf and no, that does not work, Nico.
He's still going to try it?
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, he's going to raise his hand to make himself look bigger, so it's like she looks...
So Frank is going to
less
take Red
visible.
Panda stance.
Yeah.
Effectively. And during a lull, because, obviously, some of these creatures out here actually have to breathe. One would argue a good number of them have to breathe. During a lull,
We don't know that.
Donovich seems to realize that there's another body in this church that doesn't belong to the thing you just murdered downstairs. And he simply looks upon the coffin, then looks at all of you, and seems confused. That wasn't here
We're actually
earlier.
coming here to see about a burial, and then we wound up having other problems.
Who is the decedent?
I'm gonna look towards Skane or Nav.
I'd say Skane went to go use a bathroom or something.
It is the former Burgermaster.
Collian. Come the dawn, we will bury Collian. We will bury my son. And he kind of looks at the wrapped up burrito body and almost looks like he's going to start weeping again, just as more howls resound outside. He stops himself. We will bury them come to the dawn, if I can count on your aid.
Of course.
Of course. I'm a dwarf. I know how to dig holes.
It is literally why we're here.
Good.
I apologize that we had to interfere, but
Do not apologize. That creature was not my son. That was not my Doru. But I could not. And he starts tearing up a little bit. That blustery jowl that portly old men get. I could not bring myself to harm a life I brought into this world. This is the devil's doing. But perhaps the gods have not forsaken us. Not truly. Give me a perception. For those of you staring upon this old man in his grief.
18.
Hey, Frank got a decent one. Damn, Hannah.
Nat 20.
There you go. Add one to the counter.
Hey.
We got 2 18s and a 26. You see some spark in the prior that wasn't here when you got here. Some little light in his eyes. Almost like someone has given him hope in the act of murdering his son. Take that as you will.
Nav takes that as this is our sign to murder more.
I mean,
Now I'm starting to realize how my D&D group felt with Nizdrith. Because eventually I just went full murder machine too, and that's fine. Oh, we have another damn it, Nav. Good job. We're going to have
I'm
a lot of
just
those by
marking
the end of the
these
night.
I'm marking these for later clips.
That's fair.
That's all I'm doing.
That's fair. I want to see these clips. Just like drop them in the tabletop chat. Because like, yeah, we'll turn these into shorts on YouTube. It'll be great.
first
Yeah.
law of robotics, my ass.
There was also definitely a moment whenever he was saying, like, and the gods have left us, where Nav was very much considering being like, your god doesn't even exist anymore.
Okay, let's maybe not kill the old man. Not like that anyway. Thank you. I appreciate
Especially
that.
when I saw the spark in his eye, it's like, oh yeah, let's not let him know that.
Frank has not fully rubbed off on you yet. I have concerns.
Frank is respectful of other people's religions. He might not understand them and misunderstand them completely, but he's respectful of that. He asked permission before peeing on the church.
He did at least ask permission.
Thankfully.
So,
So as you're sitting there with the old man, while yes, it does seem like things are circling outside the church, none seem to be trying to get in. Not truly, anyway. They seem to be held at bay. For some reason. What would you like to do while you are waiting to pass off your night?
I'm sorry, but I have to make this try Lathander, don't try me. Sorry.
That's fair.
well, Frank just stands guard.
Okay,
Thank-
Frank. We're all just standing guard?
He took the job. He's a bodyguard now. He protects Irina.
That's fair.
I mean, Frank does not have the brain cells to consider anything more than that.
That's fair. You still have a negative modifier to your intelligence score. That's fair.
At some point during the night, Panna will just come up to Frank and go, get some sleep, friend. I understand you are on the job, but you do need sleep, and you cannot best defend if they are not. If you are not
Frank
able to
nods
focus.
and like wake me up if something happens.
By this point, Donovich has found the censer and lit some incense, and he is walking around the walls. You know, in nomine Patris et Filii Spiritus Sancti, the whole nine. Slightly less dong, though. Less somebody getting clanged in the head with a bell. Or the censer.
Well, so do we get a rest or something? Short rest or
Yeah,
something?
you can take a short rest. You can take a long rest if you wanted to. Let me be the one to like pull back the curtain a little bit. You're not getting attacked.
Okay.
The whole
This is
point of
probably
this
good.
is not for combat. That's
Yeah,
not what
this is probably a
Strahd
good long
wants.
rest time.
Yeah, I'd say that's not what
that's fair.
Strahd wants. What Strahd wants is psychological warfare. Assuming Strahd's the one who sent them. But, you know, you're in the middle of fucking Barovia, right at the foot of his castle. Chances are, yeah, he probably did that.
It feels about right.
I'm not
I would
sure
even give that to
psychological
Frank with his
warfare-
negative, int score here.
Yeah, like I don't think psychological warfare works on me.
You would have to have a psyche to have that work, so no.
I was just gonna make that comment, but thank you for beating me to it.
You're welcome. But you can see throughout the course of the night, it is wearing on Ismark and Irina. Like, this isn't the first time they've been through it. Anyone who can recall things about their house, please feel free to make a perception check. If you don't have perception trained, I will give you just a bare wisdom roll.
You mean they're very
Oh, no.
boarded up house?
They're very
Not
boarded up
again.
house, yes.
Ooh, 21.
Very boarded up house with symbols of the morning
I
glow
got another
everywhere.
nat one.
Jesus.
I don't understand humans, guys.
Apparently you do not.
I understand, but Jesus, that's just.
But Skane and
bad
Frank
Yeah.
rank with a fucking 21?
I did a perception.
I was
Was
just
that
like to
what
point
I-
out that Frank
No,
does
yeah,
have a
perception
bonus
is
for
perfect.
Perception. So
Yeah, Frank does have a bonus for perception. It's just one of those things that I'm like, Frank? For rank?
Yes, D&D.
Frank and Skane, you do recall there were claw marks and singe marks on the walls outside the house. Some of them were newer. Some of them were old as fuck. And yes, hello, Mika. Yes, we are doing some D&D. Welcome to what we do on Sunday evenings. And also what we do in the Shadow Curse Lands. And also what we do in the Shadowfell. And what we do in Barovia. And concerning the Piss Post.
Tales from the Pissed. Anyway.
I did not put enough alcohol in this, but thank you, TC.
You're welcome. I mean, look at what my mug says.
Fair. That is the Cinna goddammit wall mug.
Mm-hmm.
I never did pick up my goddammit Amara mug.
Oh, well.
Yes, so this March of the Dead and this procession of the dead from the graveyard down Old Svalek Road and these lovely visitors outside don't seem to be attacking. This very much so seems to be psychological warfare.
Are you from the tourism bird, Micah?
I mean, Barovia is best town. Mika is correct.
I mean, compared to the other town.
True. Well, the towns, that was actually probably the best. So the night passes. None of you are asking questions of the priest or Irina or Ismark.
Not right now,
Well,
mostly on.
Frank did ask
defensive,
questions, but I don't think the prior liked those questions.
Your question was, can I piss on your church? I'm
trying
just
to
pointing it
protect
out.
So how long exactly has this been happening?
Who are you asking that to?
Just, I'll be asking that to Irena first, and then afterwards I'll probably be talking to the prior.
Irina will actually tell you for as long as I can remember.
And how long is that? As long as you've been alive, or do you have memory issues? Sometimes that happens.
For as long as I can remember after arriving here in this town. You ask the prior, and he will tell you. Irena was
Yeah.
a child, and Kolyan found her at the edge of the Svalek Wood, the pillar stone of Castle Ravenloft. She was but a girl at that point. It couldn't have been more than 9 or 10 summers. But Kolyan loved her dearly, adopted her. When we found her, she had no recollection of where she'd come from. This has happened at least every fortnight since she came of age. F. And he will actually say, as to those, and he points at the still going on ghostly procession leaving the graveyard. Every night, At midnight, those who fell trying to depose the master of this realm rise and walk their final steps toward the castle. Whether in remembrance or in mourning, we do not know.
We recognize some of them.
Frank is gonna ask a question to the prior. Do they come back after they're done doing whatever they're doing? So just so you know, if we're gonna meet them again, if we're going the other way.
I have never seen them return. And I have been prior of this church for 40 summers or so.
They do this every night?
At midnight.
Frank is gonna be curious about something. He's gonna go to the window up top and he's gonna try to peek outside a little bit.
Okay.
Like,
You can do
does
that.
he see the grays? No, is it still really foggy?
It's still very foggy, but you can see the ghosts, the green, eerie, spectral forms of these adventurers.
Okay, they're ghosts, not
Yeah, no,
zombies,
oh no,
because
they're
I
ghosts.
thought,
They're,
like,
they're
somebody got
absolutely
out there.
ghosts. This is not the gates of
Okay.
hell have opened and the zombies have risen forth. There are zombies out
Okay.
there. There are ghouls outside, but they seem to be coming from the village, not the other way. Think of like
So,
that scene in Lord of the Rings where they're in the... Honey, help me.
What?
The scene that...
mines of the
Yes, with
the
the
ghosts.
ship of the dead, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Think of it more like that. Less, zombie here to murder you, and more, they're just kind of reliving it.
So the
Over and
dead
over.
mines, got it.
Yeah, thank you. Dead Mines, thank you. That was what I was looking for.
How do the
Took me a
rest of the
second to remember
villagers?
it too.
How do the rest of the villagers feel about that?
Are you looking through the window to try to figure out how they feel?
No, I'm asking the prior, like, and the rest of the villagers in town. How are they dealing with this?
As any of us ever can. Board the windows. Punch your holy symbol as though it will save your life because it can. And pray.
Frank will just nod.
The night wears on. Eventually, what counts for dawn in Barovia breaks. The wolves have pulled back. You hear less flapping and cawing and clarion calls. There's no more scratching at the walls. Even the procession of the dead seems to have ceased. And the strangled sunbeams come through the cracks in the ceiling and the roof. You've survived another night in Barovia. Well done.
Woohoo!
Which point the exhausted priest stands and shuffles off to one of the side rooms and returns with a few shuffles.
Frank just grabs one.
I didn't even question it, Frank. Just yoink.
I'm
Fair
a
enough.
dwarf.
Fair. Diggy diggy
Man.
hole. You're not a dwarf, you're a gnome. But you
No,
can
but
diggy diggy
I'm
hole
a
if you
deep
like.
gnome on top of it, so I'm going to grab a shovel, is what I was meaning.
Fair. You may
No, I'm a
also...
rock gnome, not a deep gnome. Never mind.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't think you were a deep gnome. I didn't think you would
Never
Rygar.
mind, rock gnome. Point
Anyway.
is,
Diggy
break
diggy
rocks.
hole.
Anyway.
Understood. And he will take a shovel himself and lead you out the back to a wheelbarrow where you can put the coffin that Kolyan is in. Because it is very clear this old man cannot lift that body by himself. Like, there is no way in hell.
I mean, we're gonna live. I think we're between all of us. We can carry the bodies. And
I mean, to be fair, you did bring one of them here on mechanical bareback.
True.
well, good thing we didn't leave them back at the mansion while we talked to this guy.
And Donovich will start digging a grave. And a second one. She's kind of bouncing between two holes.
Yeah, I'm help. We'll dig.
I realize how that came out. It's not meant that way.
I don't get it.
Fine, Nika. You're a little too young to understand. I get it. Anyway, so bouncing between the two graves that you're digging, it takes most of the morning before you are able to lay to rest the former burgomaster of Barovia. The first handful of dirt is thrown in by Irina, the second by Ismark. And the priest says a prayer over the bodies to the Morning Lord. He never specifies a name, but he offers his hopes and prayer that their spirits will be guided into the afterlife far from this hell, that once interred, they never may rise again, that they may at last find their rest, their peace, and their freedom that they were denied in this life, etc., etc. Once all of this is said and done, our dear priest will turn to the dwarf, against all better reasoning, and say to Frank, "You must take Irina far from here."
That's what I'm paid for.
Good. Take her to the Abbey of St. Markovia in Kresik. Or barring that, take her to Valaki. She'll be safer there than here.
Is everyone else hearing this?
Well, he's not whispering.
So we're not
I'm
taking her
relaying
to
the
Valaki.
information just in case Frank forgets what it was. So
Okay, fair enough.
We can take her to the Abbey. That is not the problem. But Valaki is out.
And Donovich kind of raises an eyebrow at Panna, but doesn't seem to question it. More than the eyebrow.
Valaki is a silly place.
Mayhap we should ask her where she wants to go.
I would prefer to stay here and fight. This is my life, and he cannot control it. He cannot rule it. Do not care for the Devil's Strahd. I do not care for his wants. Which point Ismark will step in. You know he comes for you. Take the piece off the board. This is wise.
also, we fight on our terms, not his. So, would you rather fight him where he expects you or where he doesn't expect you?
She kind of grudgingly looks at Frank. It is the wisest thing you've said in my presence.
I mean, I'm all for annoying the guy.
It's the wisest thing you said in many of our presences, to be
Oh, by the
completely
way,
honest.
and seriously, as the prior, like, you really should consider urine because last time I did this, the S guy went away. I did it in front of him, and he went away.
He is now the S guy.
And
We have Mr. Drip and the F
Several minutes
guy.
afterwards.
He still went away.
Correlation is not causation.
The rest
Frank.
of the wolves did not come in town.
Frank, you were winning a moment ago. You are starting to lose a few steps. It is best that we keep mouth shut.
So we've settled on we're taking her to Kresik.
The Abbey?
The Abbey, yes, in Kresik. The Abbey of St. Markovia.
Yes.
As you are leaving the church, and she is saying her tearful goodbye to her brother Ismark, you notice at the end of the winding road that you took to get up here, sits a rather large, very stately, well-kept, jet black coach with a team of 4 dark horses at the front. Seems to be waiting for you.
I want to say, oh, hell no. I just don't know if Frank is smart enough to say that.
I mean, to be fair, anyone with 2
I'm
brain
going to
cells to rub
assume that
together,
none of
you can
you-
say hell no. It's fine.
I'm going to assume none of you called this, correct?
Where would we
It's
have
not church
called-
property.
This does not belong to the church, says Donovich.
Is it blocking our way out?
It's not blocking it. It's just waiting with the door open.
Is there anyone inside?
That you can see,
Yeah.
no. There doesn't even appear to be a driver.
I look at Panna. I take out the flask of alchemist fire. I like nod at the flask of alchemist fire and nod at the coach.
I'm going to like try and sneakily point the sword towards the coach.
It's honey.
I'm gonna put out my hand towards Frank and go, that is a second option, not first. Probably
Frank's
better
not-
off as 4th or 5th option, actually.
Well, yeah, I have 5.
I don't know. Molotov cocktails feels like the correct thing in this situation.
I have 3 of them. They're option 2, 3, and 4.
Just in order, 2, 3, and 4. So, honey, you're pointing the sword at the coach, right?
Yes.
You're trying to see whether or not it lights up.
Yeah.
The coach is a coach. It has no alignment.
But does the sword sense there is evil about it? Is my fucking thing.
No, it's a coach. It's just a
What about
coach.
the horses? Are the horses evil?
That's what I'm saying.
No, they're horses. Horses don't get an
Does the evil
alignment.
detector detect the evil?
No! The evil is not what happens when you get in the coach. It's what happens when you get
Test of
deposited.
the sword. Is there a gazebo
I mean-
around?
A
I
gazebo?
was just about to make the comment.
Gazebo?
I get what you're trying to do. It's literally just a coach, honey.
Well, that's fine. We move on.
Yes,
Like,
coach
what the
with no
fuck?
driver.
Yes, a coach with no driver. Almost as if the horses
Or
know
at
where they
least a
have to
not
go.
evil driver. Okay. I think it's time we get out of here. We're gonna head out of town.
Okay.
And we're gonna avoid that coach over there. Actually, we're gonna avoid the roads if possible.
Oh. Are you?
No, actually.
Okay.
I feel like avoiding the roads is.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
avoiding
it's
like
safe.
if I could like just go around the buildings a little bit and not get near the coach.
Oh, you're just trying to avoid the main roads in town.
Like, no, not avoid the main
Okay.
roads in West Barovia. Like, no, like just
That would be what I was asking.
yeah, no. I'm just avoiding the coach.
That's fair.
Or indiscreet people looking around, trying to sell us out.
So
Spies.
you're moving with Irina. Irina.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did that name come from? We're moving with Irina. We're trying to get out of town.
Yes.
Every time you duck through an alleyway or those little areas between houses or buildings, the coach is right there. Just waiting for
I look
you.
at Panda again and like, now can I?
I'm going to look to Skane and go. But the other thought is, this might not be the best thing to do in town either. That may cause more damage than it's worth.
Fair
Hey, there's a
enough.
lot of wooden buildings all over here. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, let's not set fire to the town.
Remember, pillage first, then burn.
Can I?
But you are
go
able to make it out of town. Are you
No,
wanting?
it's cool.
No, you want to go up to it?
No, it's cool.
No. You want to? It's fine. You wish to go up to the coach. It's a stately black coach. Looks
No, it's
very
fine.
comfortable. Are you sure?
Mhm.
Looks super comfy inside.
There's candies in there.
Yeah, that's free.
I mean, it is free, but there's no candies. I don't even know if they have. Actually, there's no mention of whether or not they have candy in Barovia. I would assume they probably
I
don't.
doubt it.
Rhiannon, what? I'm being harassed by a cat.
No.
That's the way it always works, isn't it?
Kitty.
But
So,
provided you do not
oh.
sit your butt inside the coach, you can make it out of town.
Is the coach still there following us out of town?
No, it seems to stop at the gate. And the horses are just
If he had
looking at
followed
you.
us out of town, then it would have been Molotov time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair. No, they do stop at the gate.
I'm gonna turn off my follower goal comment. I'm sorry, I forgot to do that before we started here.
No, it's fine. If you need extra followers, hey, everybody over in my chat, go over to Walltop's chat. Follow.
Nah, it's more of a I just don't need it chatting up the D&D chat is all.
Fair. What? What? I don't know that chat can hear it, but I am being harassed by a cat.
Get out. We're out of town now, right?
Yes, you are out of town. You can go. Well, hold on. Let me actually give you the map. So many things to click. This one is the one you guys have. No, incorrect.
And that's 22 off the goal.
There you go. Right. Back into Barovia. Proper. Just take the you are here. Can I take the you are here and move it?
Should be able to.
Yes. A little lower. There we go. You are here.
And we need to get over there.
Yes. Rezik is, yep,
Where's
right about S.
where's the?
You've been there once before. Erroneously.
Oh, that place.
Yes.
Wait, that's the place where there was that dude making stuff out of corpses, right?
Right.
Yes. Your options are
So
there in
Valaki
Valaki, so take your pick.
Valaki is closer, but I
No.
do not know how welcome we would be there at this moment in time. I mean, I'm fairly certain that we got away with our issue, but might not be best.
I also feel like Krezik would be far more defensible.
And less hanging people for not smiling.
Yes, that
Less hanging children.
is exactly.
Sorry, I'm also eyeing the big puppy down. What's up, big guy? Come here.
But just
Okay.
checking, there's a way of getting to the abbey without going through Valaki, right?
Oh yeah, you've got a few different options. You could, as a matter of fact, when you left the abbey, you came back down from Lake Baratok down along this road to Q, which is where Argonvos Holt was.
All right.
And there's
We
all these
still
little
have to
side
go through,
roads.
like, in theory, we still have to go through Milan.
Not necessarily. I
No,
mean, there's
Take
also
the side paths.
there's also the Tolenska Pass, which is down here at T, and it this lovely red line that goes up here. So you could just take one of these little side passes. If you scroll in on the map, you see all these little kind of hatch mark ways and means. Those are paths. Those are footpaths. You could take them.
I thought those were
well,
elevation marks. That's
Yeah, same.
Yeah, column A, column B.
Thing is, we can go through there without getting anywhere close to Valaki.
Correct. You can, in fact, avoid Vallaki. It is possible. Hell, if you wanted to, you can go out through Mount Baratok, Mount Gakis, whichever way you want to go. Just tell your DM.
Let's probably stay at least on the same level. No, not climbing.
Why not?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Avalanches, trolls, angry mountain kings.
The fact that climbing a mountain means way more time.
I mean, this is just a big setup for like, oh no, I'm gonna fall into like a ravine or something, or you have to cut a rope like to let a friend go because otherwise you're gonna fall down. Frank's a dwarf. He knows those dangers. So like, no mountains.
No
Love
mountains
them,
for you?
But no.
But Nico, there's like this giant lake, and then there's clearly a pathway through the mountain that we should be able to go through.
Which mountain are we discussing?
I'm making a Lord of the Rings joke.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I got that. I'm just trying to find a good reply.
There isn't one. It's okay.
My
There's definitely
ancestors
no
would agree
Kraken
with you,
in that lake.
but I'm on a job, so
No, I'm gonna correct you there, Manny. There was a Kraken. I just decided to be nice.
So far.
So far. The place where you would have run into the Kraken, you've already dealt with that place. But there is actually legitimately a Kraken in this game. I did not want to be an asshole. But okay, so we're headed toward Krezk. Once you guys settle on the direction you want to go to Krezk, I am more than happy to run that. But while you guys are discussing, I'm going to go feed the dog. It's not a euphemism.
I figured.
So not Vallaki.
Right.
I mean, I suppose it doesn't really matter too much because we're not really RPing out. But if we were, I would say that I feel like it would make the most sense to take the actual.
Yeah, except that the people in Frank point out the people in Vallaki might sell us out.
They hate Strahd. Why would they sell us out?
You do also have the knowledge that at least some of the Vistani work for him.
Right. Well, actually, does Frank know that? Because,
I believe Skane told everyone.
well, some Vistani work for him, yeah.
I'd say, if I remember correctly, Skane did inform you of that fact.
Actually, there's no, Frank is not gonna ponder. Is not going to ponder that question. He's not smart enough to actually ask that question.
But I'm also going to just offer this as a thought process here. If we follow the main road, that is perfectly places for it to follow. It will be watching the roads. So it is maybe best for us to stay off the roads as much as possible.
And less chance of people selling us out for money.
Precisely.
Unless you're telling me the trees around here can sell us out for money. I don't know.
More
They may not be able to
chances
sell
of
us out for money, but they may be able to sell us out somehow.
more chances of the wolves and everything tearing us apart, though.
But that would happen on the roads too. I mean,
Exactly.
the roads are not exactly that far from the roads. Like the road is in the middle of them.
Once again, it doesn't really matter that much.
You need a direction, guys.
Well, we're going to avoid Vallaki, I suppose.
Okay, so are you going to go up through the Tlenska Pass along that side of the Svalak Woods? I mean, mind you, it's not very helpful because 99% of the woods that are listed upon this map Or all Svalak woods. It was very unhelpful.
Yeah, we are in the Svalak woods.
Yeah,
Or
everything
we can
is
go
the
up
Svalak
to Lake
woods.
Sarovich, go around the lake edge, and then go back and go around Valaki.
You could go down through the foothills of Mount Baratok over there and go through that version of the Svalak woods. There's a whole lot of Svalak woods going on around here. Just, inform me of which direction you would like to go.
I mean, that actually is kind of a good idea. Would be to go up and follow along the shore of Lake Zarevish. We can avoid Valaki that way. Loop down on the other side of the bridge there, and then just kind of follow the side paths as much as possible.
Works.
Jesus, Nico, Frank's had 3 good ideas this session. What the hell?
We need a Frank good idea tracker.
I can
Here's the
put it
thing
on
about,
there.
About Frank. Frank is low in intelligence. He's not low on wisdom.
True. Okay, so your you are here is now moving again.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to point this out. This little point here
Yeah.
is
we wanna
Castle
avoid that,
Ravenloft.
too.
So we are
So,
avoiding Castle Ravenloft.
yeah, so it may be a good idea to kind of go along the river to avoid that, and then maybe ford it and get back up on the road from the other side here.
Okay, so you're thinking down
Yes.
here, like Sayre Falls area, or are you thinking like
Yeah.
over here?
Maybe Sayre Falls might be a good idea, or like kind of go along that and then cross the river past Sayre Falls.
Okay.
That's my thought, at least. I'm gonna let other people have ideas here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, we do not want to go there. We absolutely do not want to go here.
Yeah.
That is a terrible idea.
Yeah, no, tis a silly idea. On second thought, let's not go to Castle
It is where
Ravenloft. It's a silly
our
place.
Next,
There we go.
it is where our next thing is.
Which next thing?
The holy symbol.
Oh, yes. Your final thing, by the way. Where,
They are in the crypts below. Right?
yeah. So we are now headed to the Sayre Falls. I need to figure out. I hate the way this is laid out. This drives me crazy.
And Frank does keep pissing on trees to mark the territory every time we put up camp.
Okay, let me find the thing I need to find first, and then we will discuss how many times you have pissed on shit.
I hate that we have to have this conversation.
Need I remind you, you're not the one in charge of this circus. I'm the one in charge of this circus. How do you think
That doesn't
I feel?
mean I can't hate the conversation that pops up every damn time.
I mean, I
Can
guess
say
that's
Frank is
fair.
convinced it works.
36. Relax, puppy. Give me a minute. So, as you are doing one whole travel, you arrive at a small encampment. As soon as I can find where it is. Not there. Here? Not there. Nope, that's all Wolf Run. Is it the moors? Yes. You arrive at a fairly familiar location, but you seem to recall it being not here. One evening, as you are coming closer, you see familiar wagons and tents. The sound of merriment, of jubilation and joy, of alcohol flowing, and me letting a dog out before he gets really mad at me.
While you do that, I'm gonna go get some more liquid.
Do we want to take our 10-minute here?
Yeah, we can take a 10-minute here.
Okay, we will take our 10-minute and BRB chat.
Welcome back.
Hello, chat. Welcome back. Alright, so we have now arrived at the Serre Pools. And conveniently, you already have your tokens on there because they were still there from the last time we did this. So the road, as you are traveling it, trying to stay away from the castle as best you can, gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. Canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There's a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake and several hundred feet across. Why is the text so small? That's why it's so small, because my computer monitor is back further than it normally is.
Well, that would explain a lot.
Indeed. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. No, they are not all jet black. Before it gets asked. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around a bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest edge.
Do we interact or do we try and sneak past?
Question is, do you think they noticed us?
No idea.
Do
Or-
we need to confront them about who actually hired us?
Doesn't matter.
Possibly.
We're still on the job. Actually, since we're on the job, I turn toward Irina. Your call.
Why is this my call? Aren't you the one who is supposed to be taking me?
I'm just asking for your opinion. That's all.
If I could avoid the Vistani, I would.
Perfect. Then we avoid them.
Okay, so you guys are gonna stealth your way past.
Attempt to.
Are any of you trained in stealth?
Yes, slightly.
No.
No, well, ish. No.
I tell you what. Skane, are you trained in stealth?
No.
I have Pass Without a Trace, so that'll help.
Oh, yeah, pass without a trace would help. Do we have any others? Like, you guys got your long rest in, so do you have any other spells, anything else you can use? Potions of invisibility? Anything like that you want to use for this?
Rage does not help with this.
No.
No.
Rage would do the, in fact, exact
I am-
opposite of help. Also, pardon me, chat, I am eating while doing this. I've been waiting for this dinner all day. It's so
Madam
tasty.
Ava's group, though, she gave us information on how to defeat him.
But
Can
how
you
much of
send
that?
your crow to see if it's the raven to see if it's her?
Excuse me.
Unless my rear end.
Nope.
That's a conversation for you and Nav to have.
Have. Can you send your bird in to check?
I can do that.
Whilst this is going on, I'm going to cast Augury.
Okay, what does Augury do again?
I receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. The DM chooses the omen from the table.
Okay,
Wheel
which
for good, woe for bad, wheel and woe good, and bad or indifference.
which course of action are you looking for?
If we just approach the Vistani directly.
Whoa. Oh my god, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Dear god, whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, wait enough to use, but I think.
So you're sending your burb in?
Yep.
What are you asking the burb to look for?
Can you check to make sure that this is the same, to see if this is the same group of Vistani that was with Madame Ava?
The burb flies around. The burb comes back. And he kind of looks at you and does this like weird little side-to-side head bob.
Yeah, I can commute it. Like, he can tell me, like, straight up what he saw. We have telepathic communication.
Madame Ava is not there. The old woman is not with them.
Concerning.
Damn it. Drink up and add one to the counter.
Maybe you're all right. Maybe it is best to avoid.
It's very best to avoid.
Madame Ava isn't with them.
Okay, so we are avoiding the Vistani.
Yes.
Continuing along our chosen path. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jump cut. So are we now... This is going to sound very silly. Are we going now north, where the path intersects with the castle? Or are we trying to, like, go around here-ish?
I think the plan was to go, like, west, and then I think it was to cut up to, like...
Okay, so you're looking to fjord the river, like... Yeah, I'd say fjording the river, like, here-ish, and then coming up around O.
Yeah.
Okay. Easy enough.
Looking at that name on the map has me slightly concerned, but...
Hold on, I haven't even noted where O is.
It is something called Old Bone Grinder on the
Oh,
map we had marked.
you know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
Back here? Hold on, I have a map for this. I just have to find the fucking thing. Ah. Here she is. Hello. You have found yourself here. Oh, god damn it. You approach what appears to be another tower. Imagine that. 127. Not so much a tower as a old mill. And by mill, I mean like windmill, not like watermill.
Figured.
A haggard, heavy-set old woman with a face as wrinkled as boiled apples sweeps the floor at the front, pushing around a few old bones and stirring up cloud white dust with her broom. She wears a blood-stained flower-caked apron. A long, sharp bodkin impales her bundled-up mound of gray hair. The dirt-caked windows allow very little light to enter or leave. Most of which appears to be taken up by the giant millstone behind her, that is connected to a wooden gear shaft that rises up beyond your line of sight. A stone staircase continues upward behind her. Do you wish to
So
stay
pretty
here?
much what we see is an old woman sweeping bones out of a windmill.
Yes, bones and some white
Blood-stained
dust.
apron.
Yeah, definitely not a shapeshifted ogre.
Sus.
It is getting rather dark.
And? How
I'm
about
just
we go
saying.
the other way?
Okay, you want to keep going. We've taken one look at this old woman and gone, nope, we're out. Is that the
Clear
consensus,
murderer.
gentlemen?
Do we not find it best to intervene with a woman that's clearly murdering people?
Well, it's more that,
We can always pretend to be. We can always play the victim.
why?
If we can put a stop to it. Make it seem like we're not aware of anything of it. Before, you know what? Hang on. Idea. Insight.
Sure. What are you rolling to know?
Well, it's probably not going to do me any good, but I was trying to figure out, if I can kind of get, like, demeanor. Does she seem like she's, like, faking it? Does she seem like she's faking being old? Does she seem like she's, like, trying to put on some type of pitiful act? But I don't think a 7 is going to do me much good.
No. It will, in fact, not do you any good. If anyone else would like to make an insight for the same thing, I will allow it. Or you may take a player dice. Or apparently Frank is going to give it a shot, and you know what? He's had good insight rolls so far.
12.
And then Nav got a 16.
Skane is rolling. Please hold. Oh,
I got a
Jesus.
6.
God damn.
Frank, you got above a 10. Same with you, Nav. There's something is fucky here. Oh, Skane, do you have Arcana or History?
Me? I have history.
Yes. Okay. Roll me a History and beat a 10.
Okay.
You beat a 10. Dragons aren't the only creatures that can put on human guises. Ogres can, certainly. So can hags. And of course, there's the ever popular errant vampire spawn in Barovia. Any of these are possible. And there's definitely something up with this one. Either they're not as old as they're trying to portray themselves, or they're not as frail as they're trying to portray themselves. But there's definitely something up with this.
I have a very, very stupid fucking question.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, you know what my next
That's
action
kind
is
of
anyway.
questions.
Is your next action to pull out the sword?
Point it at it, yes.
Well, before you do that, can I hunter's mark it and determine what it is?
Do you intend to do damage to it?
No, but if I put it up, it will tell me if it has immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities.
Hold on while I fetch the list. But also, dear,
Yes.
That sassy southern sword is back and being sassy.
But is it glowy sassy?
Oh, it is glowy sassy. It is, oh no, go
The
fuck yourself sassy. The glowiest of sass is currently occurring. I now have
Sorry,
to
are
find
we
the...
face to face with the creature?
Mm-mm. You're still a decent enough clip out. I am also arguing with... I am
I
so
can't
sorry,
put my token
guys.
down, by the way.
You can't put your token down?
Yeah.
That's weird. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it for you.
Like it keeps highlighting the whole chat box and trying to drag the chat box on.
Oh, don't do it from the chat box.
No, you know, like where you grab the characters and then you drag the, you know, like my name.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah, I can't do that because it's trying to copy everything.
Hold on, can I... How do I send this to you? Settings, controlled by. Okay. Save settings. You should be able to control it now. Try moving it around.
Yeah.
Bene. Right, I need to find this.
Do we have to go here? We can just, move on and protect the principal.
That's probably a good idea, but
But
I'm
somebody wants information.
yeah.
What? Why is this not here?
Plus, it's more fun this way.
Fucking hell. Does she have a name? She does. That's fucking helpful. I love these things. I really do. You're looking for resistances, weaknesses, etc.?
Yeah.
Okay. Resistance is cold and fire with an immunity to charmed. That is what you get.
Yeah. Okay. So it's definitely not a troll.
Nope. Or an ogre.
Yeah, or an orgo. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. And I will drop my concentration on that immediately once I realize that. Let's go.
On second thought, let us not go to the old bone grinder. 'Tis a silly place.
Let's not go here now. Let us deal with this later if need be.
Let's use this as an excuse to come back later. This seems wise.
Let's get our cargo safely to where our cargo needs to go. Then we can deal with potential allies to Strahd.
Fair.
Fine, we can go to the Krezk, then we can kill a hag.
Fair. Okay, so we're going to continue upon the path to Krezk, but we're also still going over the water, correct?
Yeah.
By over, I mean north of said water.
Where, like, the M's were on the map.
Yep.
That's what we were looking at.
Oh my god, puppy, lay down. You don't need to do that, bud. I'm sorry, the dog likes to do this thing where he just decides he's gonna circle around an area 20 million times.
Yeah, that sounds like...
Okay. So we are a wandering. And bravely we are wassailing. And I don't actually have a map of this. But that's fine. So roughly about your, we'll say, 5th day coming out of town. Occasionally in the background, right, you have heard the sound of hoofs clopping, wagon wheels turning. Not necessarily any cause to be alarmed, given that you know the Vistani go with covered wagons and they have horses. Unless you'd like to feel alarmed about that, at which point, feel free. Oh my god. You're still going.
Where exactly are we more north of the little tower now?
Yes, you are more like up here-ish. You've gone up into these areas, unless you would like to go all the way up to Mount Baratok.
No.
Okay.
We're just following like the but are we hearing we're hearing wagons coming our way, is that it?
Around you. I wouldn't say necessarily directly your way. It's kind of hard to tell. After a while being in the woods, sound starts bouncing weird. If that makes any sense whatsoever. What, kitty?
Let's keep a move on.
Yes, let's keep moving.
Okay, we continue to move. So, as you are meandering, I hate that this has us listed as monsters and NPCs, and they're not actually here. You are wandering one night, looking for a good place to set up camp. And blessedly, Irina has not complained even once that you are taking her along the most bass-ackwards route you possibly can. In hopes that, the Devil's Strahd will not find you. But as you are looking to set up camp for one night, we'll add another, I don't know, for the entire journey, we'll say another 13 to Frank's piss posts.
How many did you say? I'm sorry.
13.
13.
And this will
13
take you,
total?
yes, this will take you all the way back to Kresik.
Okay.
So
It's a little
26 total now.
extra because you're, going more northward.
Congratulations. We have pissed. Frank has pissed on something more times than we have rolled nat 20s or nat 1s.
Just wait until it happens together. But you are getting ready to bed down for the night. Insofar as some of you bed down, because at least one of you is perpetually conscious.
Hello.
You hear a weird sort of dry cackling in the forest approaching you.
Survival?
Sure.
Does it
Go ahead and roll one.
natural? That's more what I'm thinking here.
Oh, yeah, you're not going to have to roll for that. It sounds like a human cackle. Or human-ish. Human-esque.
Human adjacent.
I think then, gotta be something I can throw here that's gonna. So it sounds human-esque.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna prepare.
Okay, you're going to prep.
Pull out a bow and arrow. Get it ready to knock if need be.
Are we all awake?
You were getting ready to bed down, so yes.
Axe is coming out.
Okay. So Frank's got his axe across his lap. We've got Hannah with his bow out. Anyone else?
Nav is just staring at the area where he heard the cackling coming from.
Okay.
I'm going to be scanning with my eyes of the graves.
Okay. Other than the occasional ghost in the forest, you don't really see anything in the realm of like undead spectral.
It's just, just a casual ghost in the woods.
I mean, this is
Barovia.
Barovia.
They're
Are you
everywhere.
really? I tell you, are you really surprised? Kind of everywhere.
It's just, casual ghost. Feels like seeing a bird.
Casual. One of them got lost on the way to Castle Ravenloft from Barovia. Few of them might have gotten lost. But as the cackling approaches, you see what appears to be a grizzled, sort of hunchbacked old man walking very heavily on a staff. Not a cane, not a stick, a staff. His beard is wild and untamed, but he has no hair beyond the beard and eyebrows.
Is he looking at us?
He seems to be looking at you and through you at the same time. As if he sees you, but he doesn't really see you. And he seems to be muttering to himself as he's
They
wandering.
do that thing where like one eye blinks and the other.
A little bit, yeah.
But he's going towards us, right?
Yes. He comes into the firelight. No, the sword is not yet wooming. Just in case the sword comes out, it's not yet wooming.
I'm gonna stand up, just gonna like meet him like halfway and go like, "Can we help you, friend?"
You thought you had me.
Wait, is that the guy we threw in the lake?
No. That man drowned. That man very much so drowned. There was a bear-shaped torpedo.
This is Barovia. He could have gotten it back out again.
Okay, you have a point, but no. There was a bear-shaped torpedo leveled at that one.
He's dead. I made sure of it.
No, I made sure he was dead. But, we established things in this realm don't necessarily stay dead.
I also
Look,
sunk
look.
him into the bottom of the
Let's not worry about who dealt the final blow, who killed who,
Yeah.
okay?
Let's not concern ourselves with who killed who committed which war crime.
Exactly.
But does he stop at me or does he keep moving?
He seems to be keeping moving.
Like he's gonna walk through the camp?
Through the camp, around you if need be.
Does it seem like he's just going to go into the water?
No. No, give me an insight. Whoever would like to give an insight on this old man.
14.
I think Panna rolled a 1. Skane, would you like to add to the insight of Palooza?
Yeah, go on.
All right, Dice, you are on thin ice. One more bad roll, and I'm swapping you.
But was that a nat 1? Was I correct?
Yes,
Oh. Add 1 more to the counter.
I already have.
So the rest of you who got over a 10, this man is batshit. He's talking, but not to you, and also not to himself. He's talking to someone somewhere. Whether or not that person's real is completely debatable. But at least as of the moment, he does not seem harmful. As a matter of fact, as you're getting a better look at him, he's walking with an odd sort of limp. His clothing once seemed to have quite potentially been some sort of finery, but now it's, well, it's little better than a burlap sack with about half as many holes. He is scraggly. He is walking on with some kind of staff for assistance, but it is definitely not being used as a cane. Think, and I'm only saying this because I keep falling asleep and it winds up playing because it's free on YouTube right now, but think the crazy old man on the bridge during Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I figured.
Answer him these questions 3, except probably maybe don't answer. This is Barovia after all. Maybe don't do that. Feel free to discuss what to do with your new interloper.
Let me look at something on my sheet.
But he's just wandering around the spot, right? He's not specifically like hovering around us.
He's not specifically hovering, but it does look like he's looking for somewhere to bed down for the night, maybe.
Nav is gonna walk up to him
Okay.
and like he kind of like feels compassion for him because it's like this is kind of what he was like after he came to from whatever happened to him.
Mhm.
And just out of pity, he's gonna cast Lesser Restoration and just try and see if that helps this man at all.
I would like everyone to take a moment and thank Nav.
Thank you.
Thanks.
As you cast Lesser Restoration on this clearly insane old man, his entire demeanor changes. He's no longer hobbling around with his back hunched like some kind of troll waiting under a bridge. His shoulders roll back. He stands up straight, although still limping, as if he's been injured or has suffered some long-term injury. But all of a sudden, the light in his eyes changes entirely. Gain.
Yeah,
This one has a soul.
good for him.
But the light completely changes. He's no longer jumping at shadows, cackling. He simply stands there and looks at all of you perplexed. And he seems taken the state of himself and seems even more confused. Who are you? What do you want with me?
You wandered into our camp.
Your camp? Where are we?
Savlik Woods.
Svalek.
Savlik Woods.
Place called Barovia.
The second you say Barovia, he pales just a little bit.
While he
I didn't
was
defeat the
talking, I
bastard.
take out one of the bottles that Bismarck paid me with.
Okay, Ismark.
Uncork
But yes.
it. I take a swig first to like show it's not poison, and then I hand the bottle to the newcomer.
He'll kind of look at the wine and be even more confused for a second, then kind of look at the rest of your companions like, is he serious?
Sadly, yes.
He'll
Well,
tip back a
it's
drink.
Not one of
Expecting
hospitality.
He'll tip back a sip. I didn't defeat the
So-
bastard.
No, unfortunately. How many is this? How many times have you tried now?
I don't know. kind of slumped down against a tree. And you can tell by the way he slides, and I'm not going to make anyone roll for it, but by the way he slides, his left leg is definitely injured. Seems more of a long-term injury, like it was broken and poorly set.
Who are you?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
I've believed many great things in the last however long we have been here.
My name is Mordenkainen. Archmagus of Orleth.
I'm gonna roll Arcana, or would that be history?
Sure. Either. I'll take Arcana or History.
Don't I have a
Doesn't
book
ring
of
a bell.
his?
There we go. That
Can
is
you have a book of his?
19.
Maybe. Nav, you get
Can I
nothing.
try history?
Sure. Anyone can. History,
Van
Arcana,
Richten
whatever you
first.
like. Yeah, you have Van
That's
Richten.
fine.
No, Frank gets nothing.
So, are you just said
Skane, do you want in on
Mordenkainen
it?
As in Mordenkaiden's magical watchdog? Mordenkainen?
Uh-huh. Magnificent
And
mansion.
Mansion.
Huh.
That Mordenkainen.
So Panna's mouth just like unhinges slightly.
Nav just goes into his usual spiel. Like,
I
hi,
am
I'm the navigator.
Designated Nav.
hmm
No, friend, I'm sorry. I
Are
don't
you
know.
my captain?
I don't believe so. I've never captained a ship. An army, certainly, but never a ship.
Hmm.
I am legitimately in character making these sounds.
Are you well? Do you need a cleric?
The Mordenkainen.
Has there been another?
I'm asking Panna. Who?
If this man is who he says he is, this is one of the foremost sorcerers of the realm.
You say sorcerer, and he looks offended.
Wizards. Oh, let me correct that to wizards, because I
There
will
you
use
go.
the proper title.
There you
One of the
go.
foremost wizards of the realm.
Sorcerers are cooler than wizards.
One of the foremost wizards of the realm. Somewhere up there along the sound lines of Elminster himself as well.
Who?
Although I don't know if Elminster has had cool spells named after him very well.
Who's Elminster?
He's far too interested in cheeses.
God damn it, Jess.
Hey, read the books. It's canon.
Elminster from
Oh, I
Wisconsin.
Is he the
know.
Wizard of Wines?
Is he the Wizard of Wines? I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been there. I don't
There's a
know.
place called the Wizard of Wines.
There is a place called the Wizard of Wines. It's true.
Elmunster.
Stir.
Nico, if I could throw you out a window right now, I would.
Bad.
Let's just name that marker as Damn It, Nico.
That's fair. Oh, also, he once had a faithful hound. For those of you trying to keep track of all the various Mordenkainen spells.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Mordenkainen?
Mordenkainen.
Mordenkainen. So you have no idea how you're here? Why you're here?
Oh, I know why I'm here. I came to defeat Strahd.
Well,
The adventurers I traveled with and I. You found them?
You are the only one we have found. Granted, we weren't looking for many other survivors out here.
You were all alone.
I'm gonna like help, like put out a hand, like just point towards the kind of beckon him towards the camp. Like, let's start a fire. We can talk around a good fire.
He'll actually sit there and kind of wave you off and start making arcane circles in the air and chanting. The next thing you know, there's a glowing door standing right in the middle of where your campsite would be. If you want to talk, we can talk somewhere better. Somewhere the wolves can't get to you at night.
Oh, I took care of that.
One of the foremost wizards of the realm looks at the rest of the companions with his head tilted like, is he serious?
Also, you might not want to
Unfortunately,
sit where
always.
you're sitting right now.
He will stand up, dust himself off, and go toward the door.
I'm going to just follow. We could be walking into a trap, but at the same time, if this dude is who he says he is, there is never going to be an opportunity like this again.
Does
I'm gonna
anyone
pop
else
inside
join
the
Panna?
door before leading Irina into it?
As you
But I'm
open,
gonna ask Panna, like, sure we can trust this guy? Sure.
I'm not sure if we can trust anything in Barovia, but quite frankly, I think this may be an opportunity that may help us.
so as the door opens, there's no peeking. There is just, you are met with a truly magnificent foyer. Marble flooring, columns stretching up to the ceiling, a double wide staircase on each side, brilliantly glowing with candlelight from every corner. There is not a single area in here that is dark. It is warm, it is welcoming. There's a great fire already roaring right in the middle of the foyer in a grand fireplace.
Truly a magnificent mansion.
Indeed. Do you all step in?
Uh-huh. I do, at least.
I'll make my due diligence, scan for danger inside the place before I let Irina in.
There doesn't seem to be any danger.
Okay. I beckon Irina in, but I come in behind her.
Okay, so you're doing one of those, like, holding the door, and then as she comes in, going in behind.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Gain,
Yes.
do you go in?
Yes.
Okay. Nav?
Yeah.
Congratulations! Welcome to a magnificent mansion. The second you come in there, it is as if the world beyond the door that closes behind you no longer exists. This is the first time since you have set foot in Barovia that you have actively felt secure. Even for the merc.
And
And-
just nods like approvingly.
He'll lead you through a door to a grand dining room. Long mahogany tables stacked with all the kinds of foods you could ever possibly think of. And yes, Frank, before you ask me, there is alcohol.
Duh.
I just wanted to make sure you knew before you had to ask.
So purely just because I have to know, Jess, does this seem more opulent than any other casting of this that I would normally have seen?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm very strongly believing this man is who he says he is.
And he'll take a seat at the table. And gesture for anyone who wants to sit with him.
Do you believe in magic?
Well, I hope you do. This motherfucker's a wizard.
Please take a seat.
Okay.
I take a seat down.
So we are all taking one good old entire ass sit.
/sit.
/sit. And you are sitting at a table with the Mordenkainen.
Frank is only vaguely like just understands he's a powerful wizard and that's it.
He's some important.
I mean, the guy's offering hospitality, so Frank's not gonna say no to that.
I'm assuming we all load up our plates, crank the flagons.
Yep.
So the great effect of Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion is you get the effects of a long rest regardless of how long you've been in here.
Nice.
You also feast rather well. If you had willpower as a vampire, I'd be giving you willpower back, but you don't. You all suck. None of you have let me turn you.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah. Can I be turned into a vampire?
I could probably figure out a way to justify it.
He just
Disease?
welded some fangs on you and that's it.
Kiss just suddenly gets a pair of fangs welded to your face. So you're sitting with Mordenkainen. What do any of you want to do other than Panna sitting there going,
So, no one else outside can hear us in here, right?
No. Under no
Okay,
circumstances.
So, I suppose you're also, what are your reasons to be after this Strahd fellow? I mean, personally, we're just protecting someone from him. So, and I'm not at Irina.
He starts to get a good look at her. Seems to like actually, for the first time really take in her features. And he just kind of nods a little bit. Almost knowingly.
Thank you for the sound alert there. Appreciate it. But I don't think I'm going to be getting them with Mordenkainen. I don't think we're powerful enough.
What are you considering getting?
Mikuro, or Mika redeemed the get him sound alert, and I'm like, I don't think we're strong enough to get Mordenkainen.
I mean, you could try.
That there are certain things in life that I'm very certain we can try. However, the act of which will probably mean we are not coming back from this.
Yeah.
I'll take my chances with Strahd.
You sure about
Not
that
that Frank
one?
knows who he is, but
And Nico,
So,
thank you for the cat dance.
So,
Frank's more like interesting and like I suppose you tried to take him out.
Of course. What defender of the realms would not try? Hearing of this great injustice? Of this cursed place? Who would not try?
Frank is gonna look confused at what the guy's saying is, wait, why is everyone telling this place is cursed?
Because it is.
Is it? I mean, it kind of looks creepy outside, woods kind of dark, but I mean, it's not that far from Toril. Like, we just walked here.
That same look to the rest of the companions that has been shared now multiple times by multiple people is happening again.
He doesn't pay attention.
I
What are you
see.
talking about? I paid attention. I'm doing what the old wise woman is telling us to do. You're all the ones who are not doing it.
And what did the old wise woman tell you?
get drunk. Apparently, we can solve all. She told me that we can solve all the problems of this realm by all getting drunk. And I'm gonna take a swig of wine. And Frank's
my
gonna
dear
tell
boy.
him the story like of the old Vishtani woman, like and the wisdom she imparted on him, and he's going to be completely serious. Like he believes this is actually what she told him.
I know, because you rolled a -1 and I'm the one who told you that. Behold, my own DM life choices are coming back to bite me in the ass.
Night, Mika. Have a good night.
He's going to look at the rest of you. So what really happened?
We were told that only those that are here to become his playthings or those who are here to attempt to overthrow him find their way here.
Fair.
Because I got paid.
We were hired by Vistani, who said they were on a mission from the Burgomaster of Barovia. There was a... Do we still have the
Letter?
contract?
Yeah.
Yeah, do we still have the letter?
Yeah, I probably had kept it on me.
Oh, I'm gonna go. Frank, do you still have the letter?
Yeah, I am. I go into my backpack. I get a letter out. So, what's the name of the wizard again?
Orden Caden.
Martin Caden probably sees Queen
Bucker!
Mila in my bag. I grab the letter and I show it to him.
Why do you have chicken in your
Given
bag?
this, that's a long story that, if you'd like to, we can get to in a few minutes.
Fair enough.
But we were hired. This is the letter that hired us to bring us here, and then we came. On our pathway there, we ran into the same Vistani who hired us, along with several members of his camp. And the old woman read us a tarot reading, told us some information we needed, and then told us that we are either here to destroy Strahd, or we are here to become his playthings. There is no in between. And I'm just going to very, very screw it, just obviously pull down my and reveal on the crossguard the sigil on my crossguard.
Yeah, he's not even gonna roll. This is he is who he is.
Yeah.
I see. And the rest of you? What is your reason for this holy mission? Other than I got paid.
I'm trying to find my captain, but it doesn't seem that he is here. It doesn't seem that I'm going to be able to find him without getting rid of Strahd.
Friend Shadar Kai.
A lady finds him an affront to her existence.
Your lady.
I said the Raven Queen.
I'd like everyone to take a moment to thank Skane for being honest about that for the first time.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I've never not been honest about that. What do you mean?
To be fair, every time anyone has asked you why you've come here, you say trinkets and memories. This is the first time you've said something other than that.
I've said it before.
So, 2 of you are here to destroy Strahd. 1 of you is here because you believe you're getting paid. And I regret to inform you, chances are you're not.
Oh, I already got paid. Like I point out to the bottles of wine that I carry. Like that was my payment. My rates are very affordable.
I can see that.
Also got a shirt from the guy I rescued in Malaki. Bit dirty.
You've been to Valakai.
Yeah.
Why?
It was the first place we found on our way in. We can't seem to spit us out there.
Also had a visit from Strahd there. I kept him away from the village. I claimed the entry gate as my own.
I'm not going to ask.
Please don't.
What? It worked!
Probably not for the
Correlation
reasons
is
you
not
think that it did.
causation.
So, what's your plan for dealing with the Devil's Straw then? Surely you have one.
We do?
So far, we have gathered pieces of information that might be of helpful use to us in destruction of the devil. We have also managed to gather some research information into things that may be weaknesses. Not primarily. We're trying to get something out from under his grasp, something that he strongly searches for.
That he strongly searches for. And he'll turn and he'll look at Irina. Ah. I see. You do realize this will upset him. He will take it as an affront. There will be no attempt at conversation. No forced congeniality. If you succeed, he will send everything in this realm at you. You're aware of this, yes?
I look at him sincerely, and I wave at the bottles of wine again. I have taken payment. I'm ready to lie down my life for her. And Frank is really sincere here. Like, he is going to take an arrow to the balls.
To the knee?
No, I'm gonna go to the balls, but to protect Irina, and all that for a few bottles of wine.
Again, I want to state I was not responsible for this. I gave the player the suggestion, and he ran with it. I am not responsible for this. Are you ready to face down? And he'll be looking at the rest of you, who aren't clearly insane. The rest of you
You
are...
recognize my sigil.
I do.
You know, I know what I must do. My song will lead me here. It will either end, or it will begin anew. We shall see.
The other two of you. You agree with this course of action?
I do. My lady will protect us.
Do you say this because you're seeking a symbol of your kind?
That's like seeking a symbol. It's more removing, an affront to the nature of the shadow, the Wrecking Crew.
You very nearly said the nature of the Shadowfell, but that's also acceptable.
I know, I did.
To be fair, are you wanting to keep that slip up, or are we using the good old vampire etiquette?
No, we'll keep this stuff up.
He glances at you knowingly. Like, okay, that wasn't so much a Freudian slip. Got it.
I'll gaze at his bald head.
Just not into his eyes, into his bald head.
That's a phrase I was not expecting to hear today.
I may have slipped up, but he is bold, so I win. Good day, sir.
Only it worked that way in Duels of Wizards. Elminster would win so many more. Then I suppose, before you depart, my mans, I could gift you before you leave. In exchange for telling me of your realms. Not all of you are from Toril. One of you is Shadarkai. You are not native to Toril. But a few of you are, and I do still have friends there. So if you'll indulge me, then I will do what I can to aid you. Does this sound fair?
We started in Waterdeep, is that correct? Or was that...
Correct,
Never
you
mind, sure
did.
that we were in.
No,
Okay.
you were in Waterdeep.
Just making sure that I would have the right name.
At the Yawning Portal.
Okay. So I will just start telling him of affairs around Waterdeep and all that other stuff that's been recent.
Fair enough. Does Skane offer him any insight into the Raven Queen's domain? The customs and movements of the Shadarkai by chance?
Enough to say him, but I'm not going to go deep into them.
No, you don't have to go deep. When discussing Toril, he asks after Elminster. Is he well? Does he keep well? Is he still Archmagus? Is he still the chosen of his goddess? Does he still love cheese? And
Are we in a pre or post Baldur's Gate timeline here?
Relatively post Baldur's Gate. I do believe I did start off that way.
Okay.
Because, every 100 years or so, something horrible happens to Baldur's Gate anyway.
Right, so just the answer to the Mystra question can vary depending on the pathway that happens there.
You get the idea.
Yeah.
That the last he knew of Elminster, he still went by Elminster of Shadowdale. He may or may not have been the master of the tower in Shadowdale.
That's that Shadow Day.
Listen, that was yesterday. And I shattered many things in Oblivion. Mostly my own expectations on how terrible I could get when it comes to duping. So the night passes on. And he will show you all to rooms. You have your own individual rooms where you sleep on an actual fucking bed.
Before we go, does he want any story from Frank?
Any stories you have. Any stories of Toril you've got.
Frank is going to explain his life path of how he got to the point in his life here, like from the mines he started and why he's a mercenary. And unfortunately for his sanity, the story is really stupid because
that's fair.
Everyone around the table is going to learn that Frank does not actually understand what a mercenary is.
I think they all understood that already, Nico. I'm 99% sure they already got that shit.
But he only does that because he thought that it was something that would be pretty nifty to be. And he understands that in order to be a mercenary, you need to get paid. But since he got paid, he has to do a job because he's a mercenary. And for those who haven't realized it, the reasoning is completely circular.
I will allow anyone at this table
for profit
to cast lesser restoration not only on Mordenkainen, but on themselves.
He just decided, sorry, carry on.
I am allowing anyone at this table to cast lesser restoration not only on Mordenkainen, but on themselves, so they don't also get driven insane. But
So
also, the
basically
most
that-
important question I have, does anyone explain to him the story of Queen Cluckmilla the Sixth?
Yes.
Okay.
I
It-
explain it in a way that actually makes a weird form of sense versus I'm sure Nico would ramble on about things.
Just as long as somebody explains the chicken to somebody in the story, I accept it.
Yeah, the chicken gets explained.
It's fair. So as the night wears on, right, it's hard to tell what passage of time outside of this place looks like because welcome to a magic mansion. It's in a day, a week, a month, a year, who the fuck actually knows? In reality, it's been like 12 hours.
Time's a little wibbly wobbly.
Yeah. It's a pocket dimension. That's what the spell is. It creates your own little personal pocket dimension. And it looks however the fuck you want it to. I love that spell. It's like one of my favorite spells of all time. But he actually shows you 2 bedrooms where you have actual real beds. Even Nav, who he seems to understand doesn't sleep, but he still wants you to feel like you're part of the group, so you get a bed. Nothing bothers you.
Nav starts to like climb on top of the bed, and just his feet just go like completely through it.
No, your feet do not.
Frank is going to pick up a pillow
Okay,
and maybe a blanket,
okay.
and he's going to sleep in front of Irina's room door.
Can I get an insight from everybody else in the group?
I said in front, not in.
That's
okay?
fine. I still want an insight from everybody else in the group.
I love
21.
that I have a +5 to insight, and I have not rolled above a 10.
Okay, sir, send your dice to dice jail and get another set. Because you have
No,
had
I think
shit
that's
luck tonight.
dramatic.
I mean, to be fair,
I
you
think
have been
that's
spending
thematic.
time. You have been spending a lot of time around Frank, so it's entirely possible that like your dice are just like showing the downward trajectory that we're going on here. For
That just
Panna
doesn't-
and Skane, he is trying very hard not to be offended. With the full understanding that it is very clear that this dwarf has no idea what the fuck he's in the middle of right now. And you get up the next morning after you have your long rest. So please regain your spell slots, etc., etc.
Yay.
We will take a hot minute for you to go up a level.
Yay.
That is just how well rested you are.
A whole level?
A whole ass level.
Woo! Level up.
Woo! Yes.
So we'll take a hot minute, let that happen. And when you are done, let me know. And we will roll out the end of your journey with Mordenkainen.
Ooh, nice. Nice feat.
Ability score improvement.
I am now tough. I
Huzzah!
have
That's
93
a
hit
good one.
points.
Oh, you think that's tough?
Well, that's what tough does.
Yes. 93 hit points in Barovia.
I mean, it's Frank.
Like, even if I increase my intelligence right now, it would not actually make a difference. Frank is that dumb.
Ooh, well, Kitterweed. D&D is a lot of fun.
Hi, Dex.
I'm not exactly sure this game is the best to make sense of D&D.
No, really, this is a great primer for what you can expect at a table. Like, even from a
Oh, that's
DM's
true.
perspective. It's... Yeah, you're gonna go out on super serious missions, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, piss posts and concerning. That's just how this works. Every table is like this. Do not kid yourself into thinking otherwise. That is not how this works. Have we completed our level up,
this is
folks?
the first time I've played D&D in 20 years, so... Well, not the first game, but like this whole campaign. Been 20 years before that since I played D&D.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the best I'm gonna have to do here. Okay, there we go.
Okay,
I
I'm
should
gonna
be good.
I'm going to refresh all of your sheets, and now I want each and every one of you to go into your notes extras wherever you can to make note of something. As you are preparing to leave for the morning, and you all step out from the same mystical door you entered, including Irina, Mordenkainen will actually bid you farewell. He'll say he has a mission of his own to go on. But before I do, he will turn to each of you in turn and weave his hands in the air before you and say some words. And you feel as though the true essence of what it is to be a hero flows through the whole of your body. Congratulations. Every one of you has a one-time use charm. You have been imbued one-time use charm from Mordenkainen himself. It is the charm of heroism.
Where do we write that down?
I would put it in notes. And maybe put a little sticky note on your monitor to remind yourself it exists.
So, what does this do?
I'll look that up for you in just a second. Charm of Heroism, 5e. Charm is a minor supernatural gift which can be received in a large variety of ways. For example, a wizard who finds an eldritch secret in a Dread Archmage spellbook might be infused with the magic of a charm. Blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to fucking find
Is
this
it we're
thing.
getting, sorry?
The Charm of Heroism. It allows you to give yourself the benefit of the potion of heroism as an action. Once you do so, the charm vanishes from you. The potion of heroism. You gain 10 temporary hit points that last an hour. And for the same duration, you are under the effect of the Bless spell with no concentration required.
So it's gained 10 hit points.
Yep. Only once you activate the charm.
It's just that you gain 10 hit points, is that it?
10 hit points, and you are under the effects of Bless. Mm-hmm. Those of you who don't know what Bless is, because you are not a cleric, or play clerics.
It is a very useful spell.
Uh-huh. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack or saving throw. So every one of you, say if you were to, I don't know, pop it when dealing with Strahd, you gain those 10 temporary hit points, and for the next hour, anytime he makes an attack roll against you or you make a saving throw against him, you can add a d4 to it without guidance, without skein casting bless, and having to then focus on nothing but that. So this lovely wizard has given you a rather potent charm. And please, do by all means put those somewhere on your character sheet, otherwise we will all forget, myself included.
I'm trying to see where I could put it that I'm reminded of it.
I have it in the notes section
Yeah.
under other.
Yeah, I do too, but am I going to look at it? Is that the thing?
I have it in my actual notes, and I'm putting it in the section.
All right.
Nico, I just looked
I've
at the back.
also
That you have
added the potion of heroism to my bag, just to remind me as well.
that works. I would also accept that. But it's basically the same thing, but the potion of heroism only lasts a minute. The charm of heroism lasts an hour. So literally, like, you could go fucking rounds with Strahd and still keep kicking.
Yeah, that's what, 600 rounds?
Yes, give or take. Because I think a round is technically 6 seconds.
Yeah, around
Technically.
6 seconds.
Not that it ever takes us only 6 seconds for a round, but you know.
Yeah.
Also, Nico, I love the fact that,
If a round of combat only took 6 seconds.
right? It'd be the most confusing 6 seconds of our lives. Yeah, I also love the fact that on Nico's sheet, I am literally looking at Her Majesty the Chicken, not a fiend.
Well, because
He has her as a
we only
familiar.
had, like something for Tiny Fiend.
I know, but still, that's hilarious.
I also took toughness because, yeah, give me the hit points.
You need the hit points. That one I would not begrudge you.
Wait, I think I took a feat that's no longer available.
What feat do you think you took that is no longer available?
I took Shadow Touched.
So did I.
That one's in there.
No, I'd say they're both in there.
Yeah, I keep saying it's from the original book, though, not the expanded.
That's fine.
It
Can we
makes
still
sense
pull it
for this
up?
character.
It made sense to mine as well.
Yeah.
Well, now let me stare at it.
Wisdom to 20.
Can I poke it? You took your wisdom to 20? Jesus, fuck.
Mhm.
I guess it's fair.
My wisdom's 22.
Skilled.
Mine isn't there yet.
I will also allow you to put it in notes. Sometimes it decides it wants to be D&D Beyond, particularly, will decide it wants to be a hoe about letting things in. So if you have to put it in your notes, that's fine. Just,
I've
you
got
know.
notes, and then I just put the potion in there.
Yep.
So if I use
Yeah,
that,
just-
I know that that's using the charm.
Copy, drop, and you're good to go. So we have done the thing now. You've got
Yay.
to have your fanboy meeting, in TC's case, with Mordenkainen.
And Kidder, I'm down to show you my sheet later if you want to take a look at how this actually works, by the way.
I'm also down to just like sit down and talk D&D with anyone, because I love D&D. Where to now, kids?
Well, we have a task to get to.
You do. Are we headed back then to
Are we
dear old
downtown?
Kresk?
Yes.
Hi-ho, it's off to Kresk we go.
So we are headed directly to the Abbey, I presume.
Yep.
Okay. Well. Oh, hold on, I need to actually fucking find it. That is where? That Wolf Run? I think that was Wolf Run. I created so many folders for this shit. Ah, yes. The Abbey. The place we went to before that we didn't actually intend to go before. But there we went.
With
Look how big
the
this map is compared to everything. Spell out! Spell out! Okay.
There's another panic.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Also, I love that everybody's little like
There's
token
3 of
avatar is this nice little circle, and then me.
Then there's just Hannah, who's over
There's
there
2 of you on the
somewhere.
Yeah, there should not be 2 of me. My apologies. I didn't see me on the road there the first time through.
Okay.
So now I can
So-
see myself. Sorry about that. Did not mean to make 2 of me.
Now that
There's
I
still a
can...
you on the map.
There's still 3 of you.
There should be
3?
3 of me.
I see 3. I see one right here, one right here, and one right here.
I was trying to drag that off. Hang on, let me see if I can just.
Just right click it. You can right click and delete.
Oh, there's 3 1. I see it now.
Yeah, I also see 3 of you.
It's not letting me delete for some
Hold
reason.
on.
Yeah, I can't delete mine either.
Would you like me to delete you?
Yes, please.
I will delete all of you. And you can put you back on.
Thank you.
There's like 1 right here.
No, actually, here I can just drag that.
Ah! There's so many skeins! Oh wait, no, that's... Okay, that's actually skein.
There's choose gain.
Yeah. There's still...
Yes, the one that was moving is in fact skein, because I wasn't moving that.
Okay. So I still have 2 of me here.
Hold on, I'm working on it.
No problem. I'm just.
I only have so many fingies. And also, everything I'm running is running off of Wi-Fi, so... I see I see the tiny little panna in the wall.
Which is very, very accurate. Because it was on top of the wall. I mean, what?
This panna in the terracotta?
Okay, that was clever.
Thank you. Okay.
I was making a wall top joke.
Yeah, so you were making a wall top joke. I was making a panna cotta joke. Admittedly, my joke was tastier.
Yes, but I have no idea where I was going to go with the butt on that comment.
Thank you for the follow, Kitterweed.
Hitter's good people. They are fantastic.
I'm always down for more friends.
Hugging the wall.
Okay, so now I can actually start reading these things, right? Because last time we came here, I was like, wait, is there actually anything for you to do here? No. The answer was no. Now the answer is not no anymore. The road from the village climbs above the mist into a wide ledge on which the abbey is perched. A light dusting of snow covers the trees and rocky earth. The gravel road passes between 2 small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches a 5-foot-high, 3-foot-thick wall of jumbled stones held together with mortar. Blocking the road are iron gates attached to the outbuildings with rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked. Viewed through the gates, the stone abbey stands quiet. Its 2 wings are joined by a 15-foot-high curtain wall. A belfry protrudes from the rooftop of the cloister of the north wing, which also sports a chimney billowing gray smoke. I just like having people around, Kitterweed. I'm generally speaking a very boring human being. Oh.
I just have a vague recollection you actually did the description, but I could be wrong. Before.
Yes, I have done this description before. I am doing it again as we are being reintroduced to the Abbey, this time properly.
So I suppose the half animal people are still around.
Yep.
The mongrel.
The little mongrel folk are still here.
And they're probably going like, oh no, not these fuckers again.
Pretty much. That's definitely the look you're getting is the, crap, these guys. Alright, fine. You can just walk past them.
Should we find the abbot?
Is he still by the pool, like trying to do weird shit?
Oh, go look for him.
Well, I stay close to Irina as we go in.
Okay. She seems taken aback by this place. Like, she's, first of all, probably never seen a mongrel folk before. Ever. in the history of ever. At least not that she can remember.
I tell her, like, yeah, we've been here before. We kind of got lost on our way.
I would assume so. You seem to know how to get here rather well. As you're wandering through, you start walking through the graveyard. Stunted pine trees grow out of the rocky earth in the graveyard near the foundation of the Abbey's north wing. The windows of the structure are cracked panes of leaded glass. Ancient gravestones burst from a thin crust of snow in the yard. Beyond the low wall that surrounds the graveyard, the ground falls away. The village lies 400 feet below. The view is actually absolutely breathtaking.
The view may be breathtaking, but I do not feel like having my breath taken away by falling off of it.
Fair point. As you're walking through the graves, you can give me a perception check.
Perception.
See, perception.
14.
It's a perception. It's a perception.
Whale.
I have some
20.
perception. Damn. We got a dirty 20, we got a dirty... Wait. Skane, no check for you? Oh, here he goes. Alright, perfect. Y'all got above 10. That's all you needed. As you're walking through the graves, you can see a lot of these are old. Like, old. Like, really fucking old. A lot of the lettering on them's worn away. Any little, like, carvings or reliefs they had are long since worn down. Except for one. There's a single gravestone marked with an X, carved with roses. And it bears a 3-inch diameter, sun-shaped indentation on its east side.
I'm gonna go take a closer look.
Okay. As you're looking around, you can see that indentation has a name engraved beneath it. It says Petrovna.
History?
Sure, you can roll a history.
9 is not going to cut it.
No.
Can I try?
Sure.
Me 8. Nope.
No. No.
I was gonna say, if Frank got the success on this, I was going to go what?
No.
That would be pretty great.
I'm a benevolent god. I'm not that benevolent.
Like,
You know, I am a benevolent god. I'm
Well-
not that benevolent.
there goes Skane.
Oh, Skane's rolling the history. Hold on. I have to pull it back up. God
Just in
damn.
case,
You were
Hawk
rolling
ever
those
pops
dirty
up with
20s like
my
hell today, dear. You dirty 20. Also, you're muted if you're talking, my love.
Dirty 20.
Oh, I'm fucking Amazon.
Yes, I'd say. I was wondering why you were so quiet again. I'm like, you upset? Like, what's going on?
I was betting on he fell asleep.
The name Tasha Petrovna does ring a bell. It's not so much someone of note, you know, beyond Barovia. But you, as a Shattercot, as a servant of the Raven Queen, can occasionally recall memories that are not your own. She was a faithful in this area before the Devil's Strahd, before it got sucked into the Shadowfell. And that little sun indentation looks pretty fucking familiar, actually, given that you've seen it in Valaki. You've seen it in Barovia. Perhaps if you had a holy symbol that matched that sort of configurement, maybe something would happen if you put it in the gravestone. Maybe. Given that it's a sun symbol, well...
Mm.
We have one of those.
I've got the feeling that that is part of the last thing that we are going to collect.
Wait, isn't that thing in
Yes.
You leave from the
Pretty sure
graveyard?
that's the thing we need to get from the catacombs in the castle.
Just to be clear, that's... Well, to be fair, that was literally told to you by Madame Eva to be the holy symbol of Ravenkind, not the holy symbol of Amarantor.
Never mind. My apologies. I will etiquette that
That would
comment.
have been kind of weird that, we would have to go in there and to get something and then go back all the way over here and then go back over there again.
I mean, to be fair, you walked all the way to Barovia, found somebody, and dragged her back here. Is it really that uncommon?
On an out-of-character level, it could have been that we need to take Strahd out of the equation, get him out long enough to be there, come back with the symbol, and that's going to be what allows the sunlight to finally break the mist. That's my thought process on that. But
That's also entirely possible. It's not a terrible plan. I'm not telling you one way or another whether or not it'll work.
I know you're not telling me one way or another, but that's just...
But
that's
it is
where my brain goes.
But it's certainly planned. I mean, to be fair, you also know you have a skull that's probably hanging out in his crypt somewhere, too. You need to go take back to a dragon's lair.
Yeah.
That's if you want to set those knights free. Not a requirement, but it would be nice.
I mean,
And also, Frank may or may not have gotten paid.
yeah, I took the job.
You did, and I don't remember whether or not you actually got paid for it. You strange mercenary.
I was gonna pretend Frank took a piece of wood or something out of the out of there the way.
I mean, to be fair, you guys did get those potions. So,
Yeah.
anyway, you wander from the graveyard towards the gardens. The gatehouse stands at the entrance to the Abbey Gardens. Nestled between rising and plunging cliffs are 4 rectangular garden plots enclosed by 5-foot-high walls of mortared stones. White rabbits nibble on turnips uprooted by the cold. 2 lifeless scarecrows stuffed gullets and sackcloth heads hang from the wooden crosses pounded into the cold, hard earth. The Abbey's east wing looms over the garden. They might be. They also might not be.
What was the question? Sorry.
Are we sure they're lifeless?
Are we sure it's scared?
Good question. Thank you.
The Abbey's east wing looms over the garden, its shattered windows dark and disturbing. A door leads to this forlorn edifice, which apparently isn't as abandoned as one might have hoped. From within, the laughter and the wailing of things that should not be comes. Hi. And it sounds a little like that, as I get attacked by a cat. Hi, kitty.
Did I hear a meow?
To be fair, you
Just
didn't
check
hear a
over.
meow. Rhiannon, stop. I'm being assaulted by a cat.
I was wondering if the trick that happens occasionally if I'm streaming, where the cats are in the other room, they'll hear the treat jar open and come running if they're watching. Faniki's got the stream up, but apparently they're not paying attention right now.
That might be why Rhiannon is trying to assault me.
I should get after Rhiannon and started assaulting you, so that is not my fault.
Fair. Would you like to do anything with the gardens while you're here?
Not right now.
Okay. Are we going to bypass the abbey itself and go towards...
Isn't here where we're supposed to go?
You were supposed to deposit her here, yes.
Huh. Well, I suppose we should go talk to the abbot.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
Okay, so you exit from the gardens. Actually, probably, like, zoom you guys along, shouldn't I? Or the garden's somewhere that I had to cut off. Actually, might have been somewhere I had to cut off. Oh. You will go in, then, to the courtyard. Right there.
Ab looks in the well.
Nothing comes out of the well at you.
Yet.
I don't think your captain is in there.
Yeah, there's water. It's as good a place to check as any. The thick fog that fills the courtyard swirls as if eager to escape. The courtyard is surrounded by a 15-foot-high curtain wall on which stand several guards with their backs to you, or so it seems at first. It's clear now that these guards are merely scarecrows. Wooden doors to the north and east lead to the abbey's two wings. In the center of the courtyard is a stone well filled with an iron winch, to which a rope and bucket are attached. Along the perimeter, tucked under the overhanging wall, are several stone sheds with padlocked wooden doors, as well as 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs. 2 wooden posts are pounded into the rocky earth and have iron rings bolted to them, and chained to one of them is a short humanoid with bat wings and spider mandibles. The quiet is shattered by horrible screams coming from the sheds.
Not sure this was here last time we came here.
The 2 mongrel folk from the front, who recognized you from before, are hurrying along with their little limping legs. The one with the half lizard-like face and claws goes, You will wait here. We will get the abbot. You will wait here.
Thanks, man.
And he and the cat one start to slink off.
Nature to determine if I know what that thing is.
It's a mongrel folk. Oh, you mean the bat
thing
thing?
that got chained up. Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead and roll.
No, 7 is not going to cut it.
And you.
I can try nature, I think.
Sure, give it a shot.
Well,
Why not?
Camera off for a sec, sorry.
17.
Frank, I'm going to send your dice to jail anyway. You're rolling well, but I'm going to send you to jail. It's a -2. You rolled a fucking 19, my guy.
Look, he's an idiot.
I mean, it would stand to reason with everything else you've seen around here. It's probably another mongrel folk. Just chances are that one might be dangerous. So that's why they have him chained up outside.
So it doesn't look like an ettercap is what I was trying to determine.
No. Definitely does not look like an ettercap.
Thank you.
What's an
And is that what the screaming was coming from?
Well, the shed's behind it, but yes.
Oh.
The very padlocked sheds. If you don't know what an ettercap is, we can discuss it later. Let's just say you don't want to run into one of those around here.
Should we do something about the screaming?
I don't know if we can at this moment. We will have to wait.
Okay. You guys are just standing there? We're not going to
Oh,
approach
wait.
the well, mongrel folk.
They told us to wait here.
That is fair.
I already looked in the well. There was...
I'll take a look at the well, though.
About 20 feet down, you see a pair of glistening eyes just looking up at you.
Wait, I didn't think there was
Well.
anything in the well.
Well, there wasn't before.
Oh,
I'm gonna eyes of the grave down at it.
Oh, it's alive. Not
Backing
undead.
away.
Yeah, but my eyes blown out. Fuck them.
Okay, fair. Oh, that's okay. So Frank has pissing on posts around wolves. Dane has glowing eyes. One is clearly more intimidating than the other.
I'm just gonna throw this out there that if somebody just pisses on the ground in front of me and a bunch of wolves, that is going to intimidate the fuck out of me.
That would not intimidate the fuck
Because
out of
the
me.
person's insane.
I would just like to point out that Frank does actually have proficiency in intimidation.
I
He's
understand.
never used it.
Why does he need to use it? He just can piss on posts.
Nico,
This
your
is
logic
the
defies all
time.
reason. This is that time of night, guys. Welcome to D&D After Dark.
Nav waves at the glowing eyes in the well.
You see a tentacle wave back. Nav is making friends with well creatures. It is that kind of night. Anyway, the doors to the abbey proper open as the two mongrel folk hobble back out, accompanied not by the mongrel folk you saw before. Gentle sounding music trickles out from the doors, played on a single stringed instrument by some unseen master. The ground floor behind it is a large one, easily a 50-foot square foot room. With arched leaded glass windows, a cauldron sits on an iron rack above a fire and a hearth. While above the fireplace mantle, you can see the bottom of what appears to be a golden disc engraved with the symbol of the sun. In one corner, a wooden staircase climbs to an upper level, while in another, a stone staircase descends into darkness. Several chairs surround a wooden table that stretches at the entire length of the room. Wooden dishware and golden candelabras are neatly arranged on the tables, standing behind which is a young woman with alabaster skin dressed in a torn and soiled red gown. Her auburn hair is neatly bundled so as to not touch her soft shoulders. She seems lost in her own thoughts. But out from the doors, accompanied by the two Mongol folk, is a handsome young man in a brown monk's robe. He gently takes the woman by the hand to lead her out. A painted wooden holy symbol that depicts the sun hangs from a chain around his neck. He moves with the grace of a saint.
I'm just gonna
Frank
keep.
waves at him.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
keep still.
Okay.
Is he coming more towards us, or
Yes, he was summoned to speak with you.
okay? So I suppose I go up and meet him.
Okay. As you step closer, an aura of calm and peace just surrounds you, which is really weird because you're Frank. Peace is not necessarily a thing you do.
Well, I stop like maybe like 3 paces of him, in front of him, respectfully, and I tip my hat at him. Do I have a hat?
Sure. You can have a hat.
I touched my forelock, just
Okay.
show of respect.
He looks at the rest of you almost expectantly.
I'll
What?
give a
What?
very polite, respectful bow.
Why have you come here, my children?
I step aside and I point at Irina.
Perception checks all around.
Yay.
I'll just order another round of
got
those
it.
for the bar. Jesus
12.
Christ!
11.
Or I got a 24. So.
Okay, easy enough. You know what? It's over a 10. Now that you are standing near enough to this young woman that he's brought out with him, with the auburn hair, you can tell that there's strange indents in her skin under what appears to be white powder. But as you're looking at her, and you look back at Irina, there is a very startling, a very striking similarity. Did you find his bride? I just finished this one for him. I'd hoped to find her a proper wedding gown.
You are going to give her to him. Devil.
Of course. It's the only way to keep this place safe. I offer him brides. He takes them for a time. When he's through with them, I have another one ready.
We didn't see this last time we came here, right?
Correct. You
was
saw
working on
someone
something.
working on something.
He was pulling. Wasn't he in the graveyard pulling like
Body
corpses
parts.
out of the graves?
Yep. Pulling body parts.
That's the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Just make sure you made them, right?
Yes.
So hypothetically, okay, if we were to leave someone here who kind of looked like I point out at the I don't know if she's undead or not, but just pointed out at the maid woman, you're not gonna cut them up and make another one, right?
Well, if you have one that's already living, why would I need to make one?
But you would give him to the S guy, right?
If that is his bride, then yes.
I see.
That is the
Okay,
only
go
way
back
to
to
end
the
this
well and
Would
curse.
you mind for a
again?
second here? Would you mind a sec? I just leaned to Panam and just whispered to him, "Let's get the fuck out of here."
Don't think we're going to be able to leave politely. At this point, we can try.
Nav looks down the well and like to the creature that was in there. Do you like this guy?
The tentacle comes up and does kind of like a, you know, that so gesture you can do with a hand? It's the closest approximation a tentacle can get to that.
Looks to the others. His hand kind of like starts glowing a little bit.
Remember, TC, he can't see you.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of put up a hand to go. Perhaps now is a bad time. We can come back later and discuss things. And I'm gonna try and give us an option to leave quietly.
Oh,
But if we're blocked in any way, shape, or form, then the fireworks are gonna start.
no, you're able to wander about the abbey to your pleasure.
Let's go elsewhere.
Yeah,
At least let's get out of the Abbey's limit and discuss things before we move.
Yeah.
And I, as subtly as I can for a drunk, moronic dwarf that doesn't even know what a mercenary is, I'm going to try to discreetly nudge Irina out the door gate.
You don't even have to. She's already moving.
Let's.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep. I've seen Resident Evil.
You're leaving.
Let's leave.
As you're leaving, Irina seems to stop for just a moment. Almost like she heard something. Just that weird kind of head tilt thing that Panna does from time to time, as a matter of fact. And as you're leaving the abbey, starting to head back down towards the town, now that lovely 400-foot drop, she heels off into the wood.
All right.
Aw,
that's
seriously?
first two.
Well, follow her.
Seriously?
Eliminate the trail of. Oh, wrong game. Sorry.
No, not vampire, not vampire. Stop that. You're not a Tremere. Knock it off.
Excuse me. I have Duran Key.
You
I don't have time to
filthy
grab her,
blood
right?
thief.
I don't have time to grab her before she does that, or react to that.
No. I mean, you can follow her. If you want to really try to stop her, you can.
Well, obviously I'm gonna follow her wherever she goes because, bodyguard. So I run after her.
Same.
Okay. So you start following her. Dear, is there anything you're trying to do since you like to mute yourself from time to time?
I'm good.
Okay, just check again. As you're following her, she follows this winding path into the wood that stops at the edge of a strangely clear pool. And you start hearing it as you're coming closer. It's the soft sound of somebody speaking. And she stops stock still at the edge of the pool, looking down into the water. An image appears on the sparkling blue waters, a handsome youth of kind and noble visage, a sadness in his eyes that turns to sudden joy. Titania, he says, "It's been so long. Come, my love, let us be together at last." Irina gasps and puts a hand to her heart. He says, "My beloved Sergei, in life you were a prince and a man of faith. We were to be married long ago. Has this blessed pool called your spirit to me?" And she starts to reach toward the water as a hand of water rises up to take hers.
Give me a sec here.
Okay.
I'm just checking here because I may have something that might allow me to jump in front of her, but let's see if I can actually pull it off. Because I thought I saw something. Well, okay, no, I just have increased speed movement if I'm not wearing heavy armor. So, but I will try to run. Can I make an athletics? Actually, I do have advantage on athletics. Can I make an athletics check?
Are you raging?
To try to jump into the pool in front of her before she can reach in.
I mean, you can go ahead and jump into the pool.
As that's happening, as like Nav sees like the hand, so it was like a hand.
So I
of
can make the
water
athletics roll,
coming
right?
out.
Yes, it is a hand made of water reaching out to her.
Before Nico jumps in, can I make a perception on there as well?
Sure.
Yeah,
Perception,
I was gonna
see if
insight,
that
whatever you
seems-
like.
Recognize
Yeah.
what that was.
That's going to be a 16. Does this seem natural, or does this kind of get a feeling that there's something off with it?
That
Like,
would be
obviously,
an
like-
insight.
Okay.
I'll let you make an
What
insight
about
too, by all
nature
means.
Okay.
What about a nature check?
There's no
13.
creature you've heard of that does this. Nothing harmful at any route. The only thing you could maybe think of, maybe, would be a nymph. Maybe. And that's a big maybe. Because you haven't seen anything like that here.
Oh, so that's
Uh,
a 13 to
for the-
determine there.
Insight check. You're not getting a sense of anything evil. No ill intent. Anybody want to try to sense for holiness?
I don't have the ability to do so.
My
What?
Eyes of the Grave would still be up.
Sense holy.
There's nothing undead in the area, dear.
Okay, well, there we go.
Well, I'm not reaching her with my athletics, but on my advantage only works if I rage.
That's
Yep.
what I was asking earlier was, are you raging?
You know what? I'm gonna rage. I'm gonna rage and gonna bounce into the water. Or at least interpose myself between her and whatever is in the water. Okay, where's my rage? Rage. Okay, one rage. So I can roll athletics now?
Sure.
So that's my second roll, I suppose, because the first one was a 4.
It would be your second
13.
roll.
Say it?
It's a pool of water. You jump into it.
Yeah.
And as you
So I
do,
disrupt.
the visage of Sergei vanishes, leaving Irina at the edge of the pool, screaming his name and weeping. As though you just ripped her heart from her chest.
I'm gonna leave the distressed lady to someone who can handle it better than I do. And I'm going to
Appeal.
look into the water, see if there's anything.
A peal of thunder shakes the land. And the dark clouds coalesce into a terrible visage. A deep, dark voice from beyond the mountains cries out, "She is mine!" A terrible crack resounds as blue lightning splits the sky and strikes the pool.
Ouch.
Please make a DC 17 dexterity check.
Ooh, that's nice because I do actually have advantage on that for enrage.
Nico, you have a different check to make.
Advantage
Nico.
on dex saving throw.
Nico, you're in the pool. You have a different save to make. That's for the other three.
Oh, it's not dexterity then?
No.
I am.
For you, it's Constitution.
Oh no. Well, it's not too bad. I have +4.
I am definitely not making that. You said it was
Yeah,
16, right?
Well, dirty 20.
I'm still waiting on Nav.
So Frank is in the goddamn water and gets blasted with it and is probably okay. The rest of us around do not.
Those of you who failed your dexterity checks are knocked prone. Nico, take 22 points of lightning damage. And that's only
Good thing I
because
took
you
tough, that's
succeeded.
Good thing I took tough.
So we just got knocked on our asses. Did we take any
Yep.
damage?
No damage for you. Just the one who was standing in the pool.
Oh, Sandhya.
I take the hit. I look up at the sky. And I flip it off.
Oh,
And that's what we'll go ahead
I'm
and
just-
wrap for the
I'm
day.
just prone, right?
Yeah, you guys are just prone. You can stand right back up.
Okay.
None of you took damage.
Frank is raging right now. Like, he's angry. He's like, fuck you.
that is a good ending point, though.
That is.
Would you like me to pull back the curtain a little bit?
Yes.
Sure.
You just stopped the spirit of Sergei from saving her.
Oops.
Yay.
Y'all can't see it, but TC's clapping.
Wait, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a terrible
It's a
thing,
bad
Nico.
thing.
It's a real bad thing.
We stopped him from saving her.
From pulling her out of Strahd's grasp.
Well, shit.
Because now her choices are go hide in the village of Kresk, near the crazy abbot, who will gladly give her to Strahd, or go to Valaki.
Or just kill the abbot.
Point of order. Bitch now knows we're here. We do not want to be here.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Let's go hide her in the old bone grinder then.
In my defense, okay. That seemed like an illusion of Strahd trying to kidnap her.
So I was thinking the exact same thing. That's why I was rolling insight. And then I understand why you did what you did.
Yeah.
I'm not faulting you for that. The RP that's going to come out of this is fucking amazing. But I'm like, okay.
It's also what Frank would do. Like,
No,
straight up.
No,
his
no,
dad is-
100%.
I'm not actually like angry at him for this.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm okay. From Meta's perspective, I'm kind of disappointed. The problem would not be solved, but Frank does not know that. Frank has been hired to protect her with his life, and that's what he did. He saw a
Yeah.
threat, he jumped in, even if he had to die. Just turns out that it was the wrong thing to do.
And again, that is perfectly valid, and I am loving
And
the
also-
RP that's going to I'm not
Oh.
I'm not mad at you. I want you
I'm
to know that.
excited for the RP for next session, because
This
that's
is
going to
gonna
be fun to
freaking
watch.
Amazing. You've just given us a new whole thing.
I
Yes.
just want to kill the abbot.
But yes, is there anyone, TC, you have that you would like to raid out to, my friend?
Well, I'm actually gonna throw up something and keep going for a little bit.
Oh,
so,
well, in that case, I'll just come over to you.
yeah. So,
And we'll be back in
Tectonic
2 weeks' time.
Were we gonna play next week? Because technically last week was supposed to be our game, but it was Easter Sunday.
Oh, I don't know. Do you guys want to do that?
We can.
I will be at the Red Fair all day.
Okay,
So-
Then
never mind.
no.
So that is not gonna work.
Then under no circumstances
I
is
just
that
figured I'd
happening.
pitch that out there as a option. So
Oh, no, it was a
I'm
great,
gonna be beat to shit once I get back.
great option. Terrible timing. Because Ren
yeah,
Fair.
it happens. It's like whatever. Ren Fair's fun. Enjoy. Have fun
Yeah.
with that.
Please, by all
Will be
means,
fun.
go forth and drink much mead and enjoy Drum Circle and all the fun shit.
They have such good mead, and like the place that provides it is super close to where we live.
But
Like we go.
thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. Thank you, chat, for being here and putting up with our fuckery. And oh, we are going to have some fun next session.
So before you close out for anything else here, totals 23
Ooh.
nat 20s, 22 nat 1s, 15 concernings, and Frank has pissed on something 26 times.
Now we're getting up there. We're still catching up. But all right, you guys have fun over with Wall. If you're not already following him, drop him a follow. Have yourselves a good time. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Goodbye, everybody. Would have been helpful if I sent out the
Bye.
raid. Hold on. Gotta wait for it. I'm an idiot. That's my own fault. Oh, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Please say it actually worked.